I want the big pizza, like huge pizza. We just hit 250 subs. So
I'm hungry. Don't do that.
Pizza.
Don't do that.
Hey, we're live. Hey.
Order me some. The fuck. You need my address? I'll send it to you.
It's gotta be the cheesiest opening ever. Yes.
Literally, figuratively, and literally. How's
my voice? Because I'm on a streak. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm on a streak. Except for this camera thing, but I'm on a streak with the whole with the microphone. You know.
Oh, you sound good.
Camera. Sound good?
Yeah.
With this camera. So I'm gonna be high-fiving you guys throughout the pod because this camera want to be weird. And
told you it's the lighting.
Jesus Christ! Wow, it's just saying "fuck you, you're ugly, bro." Hold on, I'll fix this. Anyways, we're back. Let me fix this lighting here. Bam, bam, boom, boom. Maybe if I go, you said brighter, right?
Yeah, I said brighter. There's also a setting in there too.
There we go.
Oh, look, it worked.
Like that. Instead of using autofocus, I'm using the damn lighting. That's crazy.
No, it has an auto-focusing feature, but like I said, the lighting is what's really.
Yeah, and I see Reborn. It's funny because in this thing it says elbow cough, and I'm like, what is elbow cough? And I look at
it looks like a dab though.
It's a dab.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone to another episode. It's Sunday 11/14. If you guys don't know yet, we have hit 250. The magic number to what we've been talking about for how long now? We've been talking about it for quite some time.
No, we're done. This is actually the last podcast. We're done.
It's the last hit. We're done.
Yeah, this is it. No, 250 subscribers. That's it. That was the number, and it was nice.
It was a good run.
It was a good run.
The journey's over. We have reached what the goal was. Nothing else after that.
I'm getting the controllers. Fuck you guys.
there is no end game. Which one do you want?
I'll take the tunes. I'll take the Toon Squad one.
Take the Toon Squad. Okay.
Take the Toon Squad one. The fuck.
It's a lot. No, man. We hit 250, man. Shout out to Mr. Chivalry who's in the chat.
Yeah, man. That was dope.
I said this to him when we sat down and spoke, but I've been practicing his name over and over again in the mirror because as a Latino, it's hard to say Chivalry. Like it's not it's not easy for me to say that word.
Chivalry.
Chivalry.
Like chivalry is dead.
Well, yes, I know what it means, but
I understand
the name, so I didn't know it was Shy One Viri or Chivalry. So
okay, so you were just being extra. You were just being extra with it.
I was being extra within the mirror, looking like I was like, And
you were really practicing it before Friday.
Mm-hmm. Put the hat backwards, forwards, sideways.
Well, I should say not before Friday, but before you recorded it, because behind the scenes, it's like let's pull the curtain back. You actually record the episodes and you don't do them live.
In case you guys didn't know, he's superimposed.
Phonetically, look, he gave you the phonetic look. He gave here.
Ulri.
We'll highlight it for everybody. Chivalry. It's you know what it is? It's your Hispanic like that accent, and then it's my New York accent. So none of it makes sense.
It's all that, and then
it's all that.
So what you guys don't know is that video that I premiered on Friday with him, I superimposed him in. I recorded my session, he recorded his, and we just put it together. So it's how it went, and me saying his name was like I post edited that. So my mouth is moving saying the name, but I had to post edit him saying it to me. So if you pay attention,
you got fancy with it. Oh, so that's how you use in Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas is a beauty.
That's how you get it done now. Give this man a video editing software, and he's out here editing how he fucking says someone's name.
I'm out here doing things,
doing the least.
I need I need that deep fake now, the deep fake software, whatever that is.
You ever catch Dr. Lupo's streams at all? He streams on YouTube, so he's got this new thing now where he hits a fucking button and it's like the TikTok filter where he turns himself into a baby. He's got a clip of doing that the other night. I almost fell off my chair when I saw it because he's he's raging in Tarkov, but he's like doing this. It's like, mom, get me my gun, like just some stupid shit, but he's got the baby face on. It's like when they did that to it's the same tech like what they did with what's his name from ESPN, Stephen A. Remember when that meme was going on when they did this? They did Stephen A. Yeah, they did Stephen A. But then they put him as a baby and they did that whole fucking thing.
I think he has isn't there like a whole Twitter account for that dude, baby Stephen A. or something?
I think so. Like the person who actually created. It was that was also a little funny.
Yeah, I think they go back and forth right now. It's just funny. But yeah, man, I premiered that video on Friday. Shout out to Mr. Chivalry. It is the second most watched video on the Creative Corner, which is an amazing thing. I appreciate everyone that comes out or watches those videos, whether it be when it premieres live on Fridays or through replay. I quite enjoy and thoroughly enjoy those videos when I get to sit down with people. It's just amazing. But on that premieres is I hit the 250 mark, and I'm like, oh, okay. I need to have him more often on my Creative Corner. So that's something that we're probably gonna end up doing. Just every Friday, it's just me and him.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, Chivalry. It was just for the fucking analytics. Don't get confused. It literally, it's like great guy, but you boosted the numbers. So come back, please.
Come back. We need you again. We need you again.
No, you're the one fucking milking him like he's a cow over here. I'm like,
he's a great guy. The dude, he was super nervous. I was super nervous. Like we talked about it all week long before we sat down, and then we finally sat down and magic happened. Like literally magic happened. They were losing on my screen behind me, like the Magics, they were losing. So that happened. But no, it's
one of those that come on, man.
No, he's a good guy, man. Like I got to know him a lot. We spoke off, like I always do. We spoke off camera before we started recording. Found out neat things about him. I love his controller with the lit up. I don't know which one. If you saw the lit up controller,
I think he showed. Yeah, he showed it.
Oh, with his name on the bottom. I'm like, yo, that is freaking cool. I think he got it from the store. Correct me, because I know he's in the chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he got it from the Microsoft store. I think is where he got, or the Xbox store. The Xbox store, yeah. But yeah, man, premiered that. I guess we're going right into our week. I did yesterday. I did the shop. Those guys are cool over there. Pong in them over there. PTK. I don't want to mess up names, but they very cool over there, man. We met before the pod, and like he hit me up in the week and said, "Hey, man, I would like to invite you." And I was like, "You really want your show to bomb? Because who am I?" And he goes, "No, man, you're doing really good stuff. I watch your content. I need you to come over and guest in our show. I love supporting anybody in this community that does these type of things." I'm like, "All right, cool." Went over there and had a good old time. An hour and a half, 2 hour content. Good old time. He spoke about video games, and just like us, man, they don't down punch stuff. They don't elbow drop the news and doom and gloom stuff. So it's pretty cool. I like that. That's my style. It's our style. And I just want to mention one more thing. I forgot to mention, Mr. Chivalry. I thank you for joining the podcast, because I had to convince him in our chat that we're no longer that pod that started where we first started, where it was like,
hey, it was a little mea, and it wasn't so much a mea culpa. It was just more or less like understanding, like, I think your place in this space, no pun intended, or in this.
I see what you did there.
See what I did. Listen, that's why I get paid the big bucks. Yeah. So you just understanding, like, one, it's like when you're new to the whole creation things, like sometimes, you're trying to be as authentic as possible, but then you're also seeing like, oh, hey, what works? We already see what works.
Talking.
Yeah, well, that too. Yes, but it took a little bit to kind of get used to that and stuff, as far as like doing it, because like it's a lot. It's different coming from camera, because like you said, we had these conversations as well. But I mean, going to your conversation too with Chivalry, it was like understanding, like, it wasn't like you saying like, "Hey, I'm sorry for the way I was," but it's like, maybe if that was all that somebody saw, if they tuned in and then they saw it, like sometimes that's how it only takes one clip or 1 minute of you just being out of context with something, and then it could be off-putting to someone. It's like, that's what the content's about, and then not realizing like we had. Okay, well, after that one, I don't know if that was episode 1. I forget exactly which one you were referring to, or early on, maybe.
It was early on.
But then realizing, okay, 33 episodes in, and then, and we've been back and forth, and we've made jokes and things like that, but never tried to do anything where we've just flat out made that content where it's so negative and stuff like that. We're very, I think, honest about our opinions and stuff like that. We're also too very explicit in how we express those opinions as well too. That's just how we are. That's the vibes of this. We don't. This isn't for the younger audience. This is an adult. We're adults. This is adult themed. I'm not sitting here trying to fucking sell skins on Fortnite. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have and that's no knock to like anybody that, like, was like, hey, listen, I can make millions of dollars if I just edited myself for a couple of hours every day on stream. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that Fortnite.
I'm just saying, like, no. What I'm saying is it's just that it's not, it's sometimes even just that dynamic, just all of us, like, if
Yeah.
you tune in and then you just heard us, and then I'm like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, and then all you're like, oh, this is fucking bull, like, you know what I mean? Like everything
Yeah.
ends in a four letter adjective or syllable, like, you know what I'm saying? So it could
Starts,
be weird, and then
it
add in,
ends.
like a little bit of hate and shit like that towards, like, the other console stuff, when it's not the case. When we've literally been gaming on all consoles, we'll game on all consoles. I game on PC, and we
When
talk
the
about
hell, when them
all the
things are
shit, like,
available, shit, yeah, when it's
yeah,
available
when
and
it's
the means
available.
are there, and I'm
So, but
gonna
I
go
think it
and get
was
it.
really cool that you guys were able to have that conversation, understand, and then realize, like, that, that might have been just like a small picture of what was really going on, but it didn't really
Well, listen,
encapsulate what we were
it's a
doing.
conversation between two gamers, and it was respectful. It was
Yeah,
nothing. We didn't go into bashing, and we understood each other, and we had the conversation, and we made it about that. It wasn't
yeah,
about I hate you because, or you hate me because. It's one of those. Hey, you play
yeah.
this, I play that. Let's talk about the game that we both can play. I'm
It's
both.
not. This is not Israel and Palestine, dude. Like,
Oh
let's look.
man,
Like, it's video. It's play. Like, I hate to. I don't want to. I don't want to be downputting and be like, oh, it's plastic boxes. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be disrespectful to the
no,
people
that's
that fucking make
disrespectful.
this and
Yeah,
design it.
that's
I'm just going to
disrespectful.
be like, listen, it's the thing that we enjoy to do. This is our wind down. Like anything else, like people have hobbies and stuff like that. This is a hobby of ours. Like anybody has hobbies and stuff, and people are going to gravitate towards one side or another. That's just how it is. That's how we are, I think, as like human beings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like we,
yeah.
we don't all just rally around one thing. I mean, it's segregated. We click into things. It's why you don't have, you have a lot of iPhone users, you have a lot of fucking Samsung users. It's
Samsung
literally, you know what
users,
I
yeah.
mean?
And you had your Windows at one point, your Windows phones at
And
one
you had
point.
your Windows phone at one point too. You know what I'm saying? Like it really just, it's preference. A lot of the times it's just preference. It's where the friends are. We've had those discussions before, but like I said, whatever, if it makes you happy, as the song goes, you know what I mean? Like literally, if it
Yes.
makes you happy and you enjoy it, go have fun
Yeah,
and
who
enjoy
are
it.
we to say, don't have fun with what you're having fun with? That's crazy,
Go
right?
have
Like,
fun.
what a
Go
concept.
literally go
You
have fun.
playing
Enjoy.
something I don't like, you shouldn't have fun on it. What a weird thing to say. Even when I say it in the mirror, it's weird. It's like,
Well,
no, that's weird. But yeah, man, we did that. We dropped that content. If you have not seen it yet, you're missing on a good one. It dropped on Friday. It's there for VOD purposes, video on demand. You can watch that anytime you want at your leisure. What else I did? I did not do twitching, streaming, game streaming this week. I
yeah.
did not.
But you
But
did.
I've been.
But you played some games.
Oh, did I? Like, look. For all intents and purposes, I am not a car. We'll talk about this. It's one of
Yeah.
our topics.
Real
I am
quick,
not a
quick
car
hit.
racing game. But
Give me the 20-second hit,
Forza,
real quick. Yeah.
Forza has me so like hooked. I don't know how they did it. It's crack, bro. It's like not that I've had crack before, but and I don't condone that. But it just feels like
Thanks for
I'm
clearing
literally
that. Thanks for
playing. I'm
clearing that
playing
up, by the way.
Battlefield, and I go, man, I can't wait to get on Forza.
All
That's
right.
how it is, bro. Like I'm playing Insurgency. I can't wait to get on Forza. Like, what is going on with it? Like, I've played and dabbled on it, but never been like, oh, I've got to get on Forza. Whatever they did, the magic is working. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm enjoying it. So 8 million strong, man. Is what I see the last number. So.
That's another crazy number.
Impressive.
Like you said, we'll talk about it sooner than later. So look forward to that conversation.
But that
And
was my week, man.
a little Battlefield as well, and we'll talk
Of
about that
course,
too.
dabble little Battlefield in there.
Yeah,
You got to dabble it in there.
Yeah,
There's a
so
little
that was
game called
basically
Battlefield.
little tiny little game called Battlefield that came out. I don't know if you guys heard. But we're gonna talk about that too. Yeah, my week, dude, it's League, literally just more League. Like it's end of the season, so season's about to end. So, in one day tomorrow, so the season ends tomorrow. So so you can still play ranked games and stuff, but it only counts towards your like elo or MMR. It doesn't actually count towards your actual rank. So then you get like season ending when the update comes out for the preseason. So the preseason will start in a couple of days. That's when all the new changes coming in for the next season. Well, you get to test out basically item changes and stuff like that. Really excited for that. I've been messing around in a different role now too, just to kind of like decompress from the season that was acting like I fucking played 1,000 games. I maybe had like
Did you
200 to
get to
300
reach
games. Well,
whatever the goals
I got
were?
gold. So I wouldn't say a goal, but I finally, after 3 fucking years, and I've spoken about this before, I hit gold.
Yeah.
So I hit gold now on Flex, Flex Q, and in Solo Duo Q. So really exciting. Did gold for support for both those queues. So I was really excited about it, and I'm excited to just keep playing, keep grinding out. next season. I'm like super excited.
Have you watched the anime?
Arcane, yeah. I've watched the first 3 episodes. I've been kind of waiting. I almost want to wait for the next release for the other 3 and then just like binge all of them because I've been weird. Like the only thing that I'm not waiting to binge is Yellowstone. That's another thing. I got my like watch season premiere of Yellowstone.
Yo, I have not watched the
premiere
yet, man.
No, you're. I fucking told you to watch it, and you haven't.
I got the other man. I can watch it. But now I'm going. Today's another episode, so I'll just wait for that one.
Yeah,
and tomorrow
and then you get 3. You get 3 episodes. Yeah. Well, it's it's over 3 hours too because I think that's one of them is like longer.
Yeah.
But that was amazing too. So yeah, no, that little bit of Battlefield, which we'll talk about. My experience is going to be different from other people's. I played on PC. My PC is not the greatest right now.
You will get 2 point of view. You will get your point of view from PC and from console and all that.
And I've right now literally there's a Discord all the DOF guys. I could fucking put it on screen. There's like 10 of them and they're all playing. Literally they're fucking on it. They're at it. Nice. So they're playing right now. So it's cool. But yeah, we got to play that a little bit. And then at Forza, which I'll talk about as well too. But yeah, it's the Forza is like the gift that keeps on giving. It's a lot of fun.
Really
it's got a good hook to it. There's other elements that I want to talk about and get into it when we actually start talking about it. But yeah, that was pretty much my week as well too.
So, that's a good week. That's a good week. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we've had good weeks. Let's get to the chat. Let's see who we got in. I know we've already shot
Zamato said that he was gonna dip out, but he'll be
right
back
for a little bit. Okay.
Yep.
No worries. This is it is what it is. We have Reborn
in here. Yes.
Zamatos, you said. Let's see. I think I saw somebody else come in here.
Hee boy.
Hee boy. What's up, Hee boy? He says hello. He says what's up. It's a unusual chat because usually I'm used to see like the same names over again, but it's also a beautiful thing to see like just people coming in and going.
Oh, we like new people.
Let me check it out. Let me just check it out
when we're live too, because sometimes like new viewers will pop in like, and we're not during the live show. They'll see it after the fact and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And introduce different ways. So it's cool when new people bounce in.
Yeah. While we're live. I think we've what they call in the business stretched it enough for people to come in. Stretched it enough. So we're here.
I mean, that wasn't. Oh, money's here, so we should go hang the flag.
Of course, money's here. Try and bend me.
I'm gonna go hang the flag out outside now. That money arrived. That's it. Now we can now we can start the podcast.
Yeah, now we can start the podcast.
Yeah, now we can start the podcast.
So if you guys are here, suckers, if you didn't catch the opening news or the opening segment, this is the last episode. That's it. 250. We reached our goal. Logic has chosen one controller. I chose the other. You guys get nothing.
That's it.
I thank you for your support. Have a good night. No.
Imagine people just tune out like, oh, it was a ruse. That's it.
It was a ruse. I knew it.
Light off. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like the Sopranos episode. Just cuts off.
It just cuts off. Oh, don't even about that. Oh shit. Don't remember that episode. That episode was weird. But no, we're here. As you guys roll in, if I didn't catch everybody, say hi. But as you guys roll in, I'll shut you out. Just say hello. And we'll shut you out throughout.
Or I'll shut you out in the chat so we don't lose our train of thought. I like doing that as well too.
Yeah, Hee boy he's like, I'm in. That's it. I'm hashtagging already. Yeah, love that energy.
Dude, that's literally it. So would you like to take the reins and then I'll pick up?
No. That's all you. You came up with the idea.
He's delegating, which is perfectly fine. He's allowed to do that. It is the Sensei's Thoughts podcast. So I will pick up where he graciously left off.
Really?
We're doing a giveaway. guys. Yeah, well, that's it. That's all you get. And then I'm going to look off to the side nervously. So 250 subs. Thank you for that. Really, we really do appreciate that. And that's not to count like anybody that's also been listening. That doesn't include anybody that's been following us on Twitter and stuff like that. Like this is just for you two specifically. It's a goal that Kills and myself, we had set out to reach for the end of the year. And as a little like carrot, I guess that we'd put at the end of that goal, we'd say, hey, listen, Kills had picked up these controllers and he, instead of just dipping them, breaking them out, like these are unboxed controllers, but these are brand spanking new. New controllers.
The boxes are there. I mean, the controller may not be, but the boxes are there.
You see it right there on the screen as well, too. So, he was like, hey, listen, I got these 2 controllers. Hey, let's do a giveaway. Let's see if we can reach 250. So we got to 250. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support. We really appreciate it. And to show our appreciation, we will be doing a giveaway 2 weeks from today. That is November 28th, 2021. 5 p.m. Eastern, when we go live, we will be conducting a giveaway after we do our like, hey, how's it going? And, we do all the pleasantries and stuff like that. We're doing the giveaway live. How to enter the giveaway. This podcast, once it basically gets completed and stuff like that, the YouTube videos uploaded, when you go to the comment section of this podcast, you could leave a like if you like. We'd appreciate that too. They're hiding the dislikes now, so if you dislike it, who gives a fuck? We can't see it anyway. But please like the video if possible. And also, if you don't mind, if you'd like to be entered in, you must be subscribed to the channel, and you must leave a comment with hashtag STP giveaway. Exactly how you see it on the screen. For those listening, it's hashtag S as in Sam, T as in Tom, P as in Peter, giveaway. Okay? One word, but with the pound sign, with the hashtag in front of it. You leave it in the comment section. We will be doing a live drawing just so this is like a full disclosure kind of thing, like, hey, rules, everything. So I'll actually real quickly pull up the website I'm going to be using in the interest of full disclosure. It's this guy right here, vamping a little. So very simply put, this is it. It's pretty straightforward. See right here? It's going to filter out all the comments based on a specific text. That's the text it's looking for. That's the text that you have to enter. STP, I know it's a little small. It's perfectly fine if you see it here too. So hashtag STP giveaway in the comments. And yeah, we will draw. We're drawing two, obviously. There's two controllers. All 50 U.S. states and to the United Kingdom. And unfortunately, we're sorry if you do live in another part of the world. Apologies. Hopefully, when we get bigger, we can accommodate everybody. And if we do have, because it's with the analytics and stuff like that, we do know that we have a following in the UK. So we want to make sure we don't leave you guys out.
Shout out to the brothers across the pond.
This is what I'm saying. So we definitely, and sisters, so, but we don't know. I'm not going to sit here. I'm generally, maybe. I don't know. But
shout out to the people.
Shout out to the people in the UK. So we wanted to include you. So all 50 U.S. states and there. So we're doing the drawing on Sunday, November 28th during the live show. And that's it. And that's pretty much, we're going to clip this. We're going to cut it. You're going to see it. It's going to be pinned on both of our Twitters. Nothing else. Just leave the comment on this posted YouTube, this podcast, basically. It's going to be on our channel. You have to be subscribed to the channel. You have to enter in that text, STP giveaway. And that's pretty much it, man.
Awesome. Hee boy, where you live at? Just out of curiosity. Where is it you reside at? But pretty much that was cut straight dry. After this live ends, leave a comment with that hashtag on there. 2 weeks from today, which is the 28th of November.
Yeah.
We are going to go ahead and use what Logic just put up on the screen, the picker, the comment picker.
We're going to do it live. You're going to see it. It's going to come up. If you have an avatar, it's going to see your face. I'm going to be able to take it and tweet it. And so you're going to know, and you're going to basically reach out. You'll DM Kills at that point on Twitter, or just message us, obviously, if you're live in the chat too, and reach out to us. And yeah, man, we'll verify, make sure you're sub to the channel. And we'll get your information, and we'll get the controllers out to you.
Hey, boy, I don't know if I follow you in any of the socials. Let's talk through DM after this. Hit me up in the DMs later on. We could talk more about that. But I appreciate your support. I really do.
Man.
Jesus Christ, this camera. There we go. But yeah, that's it. We've
anything you want to
go, man. It's well, that's it. I mean,
we reached the goal. We reached the goal that you set out when we started. Somewhat when we started this, you are heavy.
End of the year, it's crazy.
Yeah, and you said, and you do weigh heavy on the analytics, and you do mention this. You mentioned this more times than not that I'm not comfortable with you mentioning this, but you mentioned this a lot. How I reel you in, like it's almost like this kind of. It's almost but it's almost like there's this like almost attitude in this thing going out, basically being like I'm trying to like make you not as conscious as the analytics are like you like just I care about those numbers as well too, but it's more or less just like we don't have those numbers if we're just not like the way that we are, you know what I mean? And if it wasn't for the people that are here,
for those who ever heard me say that, it's not that. It's my way of thanking.
That's just how you. I understand that's how you process. And this is listen. This is once again we're pulling back the curtain, guys. It's pretty as it's as raw as you're gonna get. Pause.
Hey, Missing. Pause.
You really pause. What's up, Missing? It's great time to enter, by the way. So I'm flabbergasted now at this point.
Missing, I don't know if you were in here when you heard it, but
catch the replay just in case missing.
Mentioned the giveaway.
Yeah, the giveaway. Hashtag STP giveaway in the comment section on this video to be entered in.
I think should we clarify not now, like not the live, but when it posts the comment side of it, like once it's
when it posts, not live, right, and not in the live chat. So on the comment section on the YouTube page is where you're going to be dropping the hashtag STP giveaway, and that's where we're drawing the winners from. So yeah, but yeah, no, it just I mean I think. Yeah, man, it's good. I'm excited for the next 250.
I mean, it was I wouldn't say a long road, but it's a good journey to be on. It's a good journey to be on. There's no other person I want to go on this journey but you. But it's like 6 months journey. I think we mentioned this very early on, right? Like it was very early on, or right when the controllers came out, whenever that was in the summertime. I believe it was when the movie came out.
When the movie was coming out.
Yeah, man. So it's like one of those things where I was like, I knew it was gonna happen. I just was just giddy about when it was gonna happen, and I appreciate each and every one who hit the sub button, man. And by the way, if you're new to this channel, hit that sub button, hit the like, share us out. It costs nothing to sub to a channel. We don't charge you. Trust me, your finger won't fall off. Show your support. If you like the content, and if you don't like the content, you might know somebody else who does. Just go ahead and share us out to them and let them, be the judge of what we do here. But I appreciate you guys, but that's the giveaway. We are going to jump into our topics because that's what we're here for. Enough of our, chitter chatter. So moving on. The first topic of the day we have is Forza Horizon 5. I talked to you about this in the week. I saw this information drop and I was like, yo, Logic, I got to speak on this. On top of Forza pulling me in every single night, and having these fun times. By the way, now that Missing's here, me, Money, and Missing ended up playing Forza, and finally, that's those who
banger YouTube short video.
Yes, and for those who don't think I reach out to my peeps, Missing was like, "Hey, man, you want to play some Forza?
You're out here. You're literally
I'm out here.
You're out here. Okay,
yes. It's crazy. I invited her, right, to the party. It was me, Money, and her, and we play Forza, but not the traditional way. We play Forza in a way it was like, oh, here's a quarter-mile strip. Let's race.
You guys are doing a fucking like a hashtag fucking club meetup, like Fast and Furious thing, like without any stuff like that. Like I see you guys in the main Verizon hub, and I'm referencing the YouTube short video. Yeah. I think it's Missing was doing the wheelie. She was doing the fucking Vin Diesel.
She was
doing the fucking wheelie, and I think Money was doing donuts. while Money's doing donuts, Missing's doing the wheelie, and then there you are, just like fucking recording the whole. Like it's your POV.
I was recording. Yeah. I can't even keep up. If you watch the video, I can't even keep up.
Crazy.
Like, okay, all right, here we go. Ben, what's up? Long time, man. Thanks, Ben, for the support.
That clip banged. That clip banged on the timeline.
Yes, it did. It was I think it hit like. It was a bunch of
last time I looked, it was 800. So if that over 1,000,
well, because we see like we'll see the numbers that haven't been uploaded yet, so it's at 1.1 or something like that.
It's dope. It's insane.
It's a dope vid, but that's
missing, man. On a racing, it's missing money and a racing game. So, but to the actual, so we're going to talk more about Forza, but we'll lead with this having to do with Forza 5. So I have it up on screen too, Kills.
So Forza 5. For those who you guys will not know this, but I will be I'll give this information out. My brother, who's older than me, he's a hearing impaired. So the way we communicate with each other, the family and him and his friends and everybody, is through ASL, American Sign Language.
Yep.
When I saw this news drop earlier in the week, I couldn't believe what I was reading. Like I looked at it and then I saw a little short video. I don't know why this is cut off, but there's a lady in the bottom right of that where she's literally signing. This is I believe this is
the actual clip itself. Yeah, I see it right here.
It's already working behind the scenes for them. They just working out the kinks on it.
Yep.
But when I saw that they were going to literally add ASL and not just like add-on type of thing, not just slap it on, call it a day, but a person they hired to literally ASL the game, the cutscenes in this game. It's one of those things where my brother's a gamer, and it's hard for him to get into any, like, unless it's a shooter game, which you don't really need dialogue for.
Yeah.
Like campaign story driven or any kind of those stories like this is hard for him to get into. So
short of dialogue and like
right.
possibly the characters being as advanced, like be able to read lips, because that's the whole thing with lip syncing, like where graphics and gaming has come such a long way, where now like you might maybe be able to read lips as well, like along with the dialogue if you don't have
Right.
the subtitles,
Well,
even though
that's
games
what
have,
he's been doing
but
for
it's
quite
still,
some time. If the game doesn't do real good on the facial models, like
yes.
it's hard. So my brother would have to literally go by whatever he can, closed caption or somebody explaining it to him, that kind of stuff. But I reached out to him. I says, "Man, are you playing Forza at all?" He goes, "I'm a fan of it. Not a huge fan, but he's like, I'm a fan of it. I will play it." And he didn't know this. And I told him, "Hey, they're gonna do a post launch update to it where it's gonna add ASL to it." I don't know. I don't know if I didn't think there was that many emojis you could put on the screen of how ecstatic he was when I put that. Like it was just amazing to him to know. And then he told me, he goes, "Is it like something cheesy?" I'm like, "No." I sent him the link. He looked at it. He goes, "They actually have a person signing the actual scenes." I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "Do you know how expensive and how dedicated you got to be to do that in a movie or a series or anything like that, or just CNN watching the news or that? It's expensive."
It's like Sunda just mentioned, like Microsoft just being ahead of the curve when it comes to just inclusion at this point, because we're not going to sit here and just be like, for just accessibility, just for people with special needs in general, like not, whether it be hearing impaired, certain disabilities, motor functions, things like that. We've seen that with the controller that they put out, the adaptive controller, and that we've talked about. We see it now this is a first party title that they're actually doing this with as well too. That's another thing as well. So it shows that their dedication as well too, that they want to make this game as inclusive as possible. So and it's just all steps in the right direction. Just realizing, and so it's not that it doesn't come as a shock, but this is great. Like this is great news, and you would hope that more people in the gaming community, so not just Microsoft, but you would hope that other people kind of see this and they say like, oh wait, if Microsoft could do it, like maybe there's ways that we could like implement this and stuff like that going forward, because you would want to see this eventually get to like a standard, because just like if you were to go to whether it be a concert, like, or a movie theater, things like that, like, and then they have certain things, like certain concerts you go to, there's certain artists and stuff that they'll hire interpreters and stuff like that, especially a lot of the big artists and stuff.
How
like
badass it is. I've been to a concert with my brother where they had ASL, and like,
especially the type of music that you're listening to as well too. Like I think one of the big interpreters that were famous, it's a little off topic, but it was an artist from down south. I can't remember his name, but he had his interpreter that he had at his live show. Like he ended up like dancing like next to her, like on stage and stuff like that, as she was performing the signs and stuff like that, and kind of keeping up with them because he was rapping. It was unbelievable.
I think at one point he had stopped and looked at her, and he was like,
because he was mesmerized, like how crazy. Because that's another, because it's a feeling, it's an emotion, especially when you have people there who are hearing impaired, so then they're relying on the person signing to actually get across the because you could still feel the bass of the song and stuff, but like to actually know what's being said in the song and to get that idea. I mean, it's transcending at that point, and it's really cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the name was like eluding me, but that was amazing. But to see that now come into gaming even more so, like, because I think subtitles, as good as that is, I've gotten accustomed to just media in general with subtitles now. Heartbeat spoiled me. Like
I watch everything with subtitles now.
I'm hard pressed to not, because I want to be. Anime. It depends. Like obviously, if you watch original, not dubbed, and if you watch sub, like what I'm saying. But I personally like subtitles because I like to sometimes I more so than to hear, but I like to see what's being said, so I know with the dialogue, especially in certain shows like West Wing, for example.
But sometimes, like in my household, people are sleeping, so I can't blast my stereo.
So that's exactly.
So down, I can, whatever I don't catch, I can read, because we have that issue where some shows are like louder on some scenes, lower on other, and it's ridiculous. But this here, it's huge. I hit you up over the week when I saw this, and your reaction was like, "Holy shit!" Like it's one of those things where I wish you guys can feel what my brother felt, and the way he texted, and the way he just about this right here. It's huge. It's not a slap-on add-on. It's literally a person they hired to interpret the ASL interpret the parts of the games they want to do. And it's Microsoft, man. Microsoft has they've touted this, man. They've been about the accessibility, the inclusiveness of the community. No one gets left behind. And like you said, echoing that sentiment, I'm hoping that this opens a door to other developers, other studios to realize that there's a whole untapped community out there that's been asking for this for quite some time. This is something that nobody expected, and it's an update that has been well received. And I appreciate Playground Games, Xbox for doing something like this. I know that community does. My brother's just ecstatic about it. So it may have not been effective to us because obviously we're not here in Impaired, but for that community, I'm telling you, man, my brother, I didn't know how many. I didn't realize you could put that many emojis on the screen. It was crazy. What's up, 100 Vodka in the chats? All right, thank you guys. If you guys just came in on the top of the show, I did mention, or Logic mentioned the giveaway for the controllers.
Yep,
those will be given away. Just once this video is over, you can go back and see the rules.
We're gonna have it clipped as well too, so you guys will be able to check out our socials to find out the information.
I'll be doing a video on it. Nice little video. But Forza 5 is weird, man. It's weird because I'm not a car. In a good way. I am not a car racing guy. You're not a car racing guy. And we both said this last week. We didn't get the early edition of it. By the way, over 1 million on the early edition. Kudos to that. That's awesome. Now at 8 million players with it being on Game Pass. But you see this, what you showed? That's actually the game. I remember seeing the cut, when they showed videos on this before it launched, and they showed you coming out of the plane, and then I'm like, that's probably a cutscene. That's probably not gonna be part of the game. And then the moment I started playing the game, I was at all, man. I'm like, this is the actual game. Like, this is it. This is the scenery. This is how it looks.
Yeah.
It's enough for a casual gamer like myself when it comes to car racing games to dig into it, and every single day go, I can't wait to get back into it. Like, I'm doing things like I just posted the other day. I ran over 500 cactus. Literally, that's how I'm playing Forza. I ran over 500 cactus. We just mentioned how me, Money, and Missing was a quarter mile racing, and we're trying to beat each other's speeds. Which, by the way, Missing, Money, I'm going after that. He just posted a new speed.
Remember when we were in chat and I was telling you like the main where the plane is, and I was telling you I was trying to beat that speed. This was like a day in. I think like the day it launched, somebody on my friends list had like a higher posted speed. And I was like, I'm not fucking stopping until I literally, because that's what this game does to me, because it gives me that there's so many the accolades, the challenges in this game. This game has the hook. So short of like the events and just the racing and the cars, there's over 600 cars in the game, and the collectability factor of you like, oh, you do something, you earn XP, you get to spin the wheel, maybe you get money, maybe you get a car, maybe you get, I don't know, socks for your character because it's random. You literally get random shit. And it's all over the place, but then that's the whole idea. You customizing the person that you're at. I started just being able to use my name. Like I was able to select my name. My name's in the game. So I go back to like that whole like even MLB, like the show thing, like when they called you step up to the box and they call your name and stuff, like, when they introduce you in the beginning after you do this whole intro scene, you get introduced and literally it goes, oh, welcome to Horizon, Luke. And, it's like, cheers.
No, the gameplay loop is addictive. It's a hook. It's a really good hook.
Super addictive.
I don't share the same sentiments you do when it comes to the naming. They kind of they did me wrong on that. I can't believe there's no my name is not there. It's one of his Hispanic games names we can actually have.
But yes, but okay. You don't have is it a common? I have.
It's common. Look, okay.
I'm not trying to shame you, but I'm just saying like
the name Rolando.
Yeah,
is so common in my house that it should be in this game.
Okay, but it
doesn't matter. In my house, it's common. Okay. It should be the game.
Okay. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm not gonna argue with you. That's fine. Hopefully, maybe somebody could send this a hashtag. The guys over there. Okay, a playground, and maybe we can get it. Maybe we can get
that emotion. You guys felt that emotion when it said your name. I want to feel that emotion. I want the game to be like Sensei. I mean, not Sensei. Rolando. Like I want that name to be said.
Missing cried. In fairness, I didn't cry, but it felt good. Like not to say that it wasn't okay to cry. It's okay to cry.
No, but seriously,
if you got that emotion,
being included in something like something that small, hearing it. just be
fucking
following you, man.
cool.
It's
But
cool as
that goes
hell.
back to the immersion part. It's like, all right, you got me.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you said my name. All right, cool. Let's go. What are we doing now? Okay, you're gonna go test out this new car and fucking drive around. And that there's almost no place on this map. There's a couple of quick things real that I'm gonna rant off on. There's almost no place on this map that you can't drive to. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
hard
yeah. You
pressed to
could go
find
anywhere.
out of bounds. Like good luck finding them because like I mean, there's certain places where it's like, oh, that's out of bounds, right? No, it's a cliff, and then there's another road. There's a
They do a
mountain,
good job. They
or
do a good job of hiding the out of bounds on that. A really good
here's the
job.
volcano, and then just jump off the volcano, and then you're just going down the side
Which,
of the
by the way,
volcano.
2 of my favorite missions is the volcano. Oh, that's just the music on that.
Yeah.
It's like a movie, man. The volcano is one of my favorite stories on that, and the other one is when you race the big wheels, the big wheels, the trucks, the monster
Okay.
trucks,
Yeah.
where they jumping all over the place and cheating you out of like they cut through here. You're like, yo, I gotta follow the red, and you guys is just crazy.
No, they're cutting through different. That's another thing too. You realize that even though like it tells you like when you have the driving line on to follow it, the cars the AI doesn't follow the line all the time. Like for the most of it, you would think AI, but sometimes like in one race, I remember especially those cross county races or cross country races,
Yeah.
they go off the beaten path. Like if there's like a shortcut or just they want to show off like, hey, I'm a car, I'm going to drive underneath this like seating and shit and knock off these poles, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So it's
Well,
just it's a lot of
I
fun,
just got
man.
the achievement for like touching all the roads on this game. Like I got that out the way.
I
So
haven't
now,
been to the east side of the map.
bro, now I wherever I'm going that I have to go for the races or whatever, I don't
Yeah,
follow the line no more. Now I'm just like I
me
don't
too.
need to be on these roads.
Yeah,
I'll cut through.
I
And
haven't
I'll
even been to the east side of the map, dude. I've been on the beach and all in the Baja area, basically. I
been down
haven't,
there.
and then to the mountain and stuff, but I haven't even really touched the other side because I'm still just messing around on the left side doing.
Well,
Every time I
unlike
want to
I've
go
been
and do
told,
something, go
yeah.
ahead.
No, I've been told that other like unlike other forces, this does a good job of highlighting what you've been through already. So you don't have you're not
Yeah.
never lost. So
But
that's a good of
every
what
time I
you've
want to
been
go
through.
do something on the other side of the map, there's something else that pops up, whether it be a live event or just something or a speed trap or just something, and I'm like, and I get fucking scatterbrain, and I'm like, I gotta go do
Mhm.
this. I can't, and I never get to go. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It pulls my attention, which is good. That means that I'm interested in wanting to do
That
the
means the
other
game is
stuff. You know what I
exactly.
mean? It's a
And
lot of
then the
fun, man.
cars are. We talked about this off behind the scenes, but the cars, each car, it's not like a simple like arcadey game where every car drives the same and all you get is a different skin.
Doesn't feel that
You
way, man.
literally every car is you have an off road car, you have luxury cars, you have cars that are meant to be on the sand on
Yes.
the road.
Yep.
It's just you feel it, and the tuning
Valley
is there.
cars, how
Rally
it
cars,
handles
street cars,
when it rains, how the car handles on the road
how
when
it
the
handles
road's
when it
wet.
rains. Yep,
You know,
yep.
it's
If
just
you don't have the right tires, you're
the
gonna slip and
tires,
slide in that rain.
off road tires, not off road tires. Like you know what I mean. The cars that have fast acceleration that don't grip onto the pavement right away, so you end up spinning out instead of just going. It's crazy, man.
By the way, who
And then
plays
how it
in
looks
this
too.
view? Anybody? Anybody in our chat plays this game in this view?
Sometimes I
I
switch.
I can't.
I like sometimes racing in first person, not in the cockpit, but like literally or like basically in the driver's seat. I like where it is almost no HUD.
Like
There's some
it's
racing
just a
games
road
where
and
it's just the road and then it's just
yeah.
there. It's sometimes it's a little fun to actually do it that way. Just messing
Every now and
around.
again, I find myself doing it just to look at it from that point of view because I want to see
Mhm.
the cockpit of the car I'm driving just for that purposes. But I find myself playing the game mainly in I think he's going there. The one
Third
after this
person.
one. This is a
Oh,
little
like
close.
far
The other
like
one before, like
the
there's a
one
little
that's
bit
far
more
back.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I find I'm that guy. I'm very casual when it comes to
And
these
the
games. I
game
don't.
looks good. No, I don't notice if there is texture pop-ins, things not loading, the scale. Like when you're on one side of the map and then you're looking out and like the draw distance and stuff. No, you could see the mountains. That they're
You can
there,
see,
and
yeah,
then you could, and
the
then
draw
if you
line is
see it,
there.
and then you could drive to it. Like
Yeah.
it
And
pretty
it
much
does a
if you
good
see
job
it
of the
there.
speed, the sense of speed.
Yeah.
It does a good job of you feeling like I think there's a
Uh-huh.
feature, there's a settings you can go to. This is something I've never seen in a game before, where you can you can do the settings where passing the car doesn't feel like it's overwhelming. Like you know how
Mm.
when you're going really fast, like you might hit it or not. They have a setting where you can lower it down and like you can pass the car without worrying about having to smack. Like it buffers you. And I'm
Okay.
like, wow, like this is again accessibility.
Yeah.
So kudos on Forza man and Playground Games over there on all they're doing with the accessibility on the ASL side of things.
Yeah. It's
Getting
good stuff.
fans like us getting to play this game and having that great gameplay loop is an amazing thing. The last thing I'll leave it on is I don't play the music on it. I really don't. It's got good music. I don't play it. I
Okay.
play my Spotify playlist and it has to have some bachata and stuff like that. So
So I'll add one thing to that basically, and then we'll switch topics. I haven't played this. It's fucked up. Since the game came out, one time that I actually had the headphones plugged in, like for the beginning, the opening entrance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Since then, I haven't played this game with volume. Certain games I could just
you don't have to. That's the thing. You don't have to.
This is one of those games where it's like I sit on my computer, I'm watching YouTube, I'm doing something there, but I'm playing this game, and it's just how my setup is and stuff. And I just don't have
sometimes I don't want to have my earphones on, or sometimes listen to a pod in the background or music. I don't have to have the sound on for this. I don't. But when I do have the sound,
it sounds great.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
Down to when you hit the dirt and when you hit
dirt, you hit on the gravel and stuff. When you hear it,
oh my god,
yeah, it's sick.
I think that's called audio ray tracing. I'm not sure. I'm not a technical.
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever. But it sounds great.
Yeah.
But that's our Forza impression, our discussion on it. I didn't think this would be part of my rotation, and it is. It's fighting really hard to just stay in there. It's in my quick resume, by the way. Quick resume. Shout out to quick resume.
Yeah.
The thing picks up right wherever you left off. Like that's an awesome thing. And if you're interested in getting money on that game, like actual currency in game, there is a hit up money on Twitter. That guy P Money has all the hacks. The man can hack that game for you if you want. Not sponsoring that, but I'm not endorsing hacks. But if you want to check out money, he has good hacks.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Well, he could get money for you, like literally, like he has a thing where he runs a race and it'll just gives you money, like
he knows the
rubber band, but the stuff you do back when we were kids, like the whole rubber banding and let it run.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
All right,
I haven't done it yet. My son did it, and
like,
his battery died 4 hours into it, so he was like, "Damn it!" And I'm like, "What'd I tell you?" He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse."
It's not hacks. Tell him, money.
Rubber band.
Tell him it's a part of the game. Tell him it's not hacks. Tell him stop blowing up. Tell him stop blowing up your spot. Tell him you were about to start the Etsy to start charging, or the Fiverr. He was gonna do the Fiverr and then show people how to do it. What you should do, or what we should do, is make a fucking YouTube short on how to do it.
Ooh, I'm not doing all that. Nah, money. You could do that for me, and I'll post it, and I'll give you the credit for it. How about that? I ain't got time for that. I got time to play and have fun on it. I'm not gonna do no.
He's not even playing. He's sleeping while it's doing it. He's sleeping.
Really? Like the other day, I let him to go play some Battlefield. He goes, "Hold on, man. I'm on lap number 58 of 100." I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah. Can't join yet. I got another 45 minutes.
Get in here! Like, come on. 100 is right. IGN does it too. That's hilarious. They do the rubber band it, and they'll give a review on that. Like, this is our review of playing whatever it is. It's
that's fucked up.
You really rubber banded and played Auto Drive? Wow.
That's fucked up.
But that's Forza. Right. The next thing we want to talk about, if you guys want to continue that conversation, chat, by all means, just go ahead and continue that conversation in chat. Next conversation or next topic we have on tap is Halo Infinite.
All right. Here it is. Really, it's simple. Yes or no? And then we'll.
Yes.
You don't even know what I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Can I get the question? Okay. Well, no. Maybe. Well, no.
Yes.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Are we playing the game tomorrow? Are we playing?
I'll say this. I'll be playing Halo tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going to be like that Twitter person or whatever that leaked and then said, "I'll give"? He said, "I'll give somebody, a random person on his timeline, $100 if it doesn't come out on the 15th." Is that going to be you?
Right. And then your account will be somewhere I can't find it, and it'll be hidden from me. Yeah. Right. No, but listen. I tweeted something out yesterday, guys. So I saw the Game Pass image with the November 15th on it.
How about Pringles?
I got excited and tweeted
it's Pringles.
No, I did that one first. That's the first semester. I got excited. I tweeted out, and then I realized, shit, I didn't get enough. Like, I'm that guy. I should have done that. So I pulled it.
Should have did your due diligence. You were confident. You were confident.
I didn't want to be like those, IGN and Kotaku and all of them who just trigger people happy, whatever. So I said, let me pull it. And I pulled it and I said, let me look at it more. But then more stuff started coming out. You got your Pringles doing the giveaway, which, by the way, they now pulled it. They didn't pull it. They blanked it out, the counter.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have like the devs playing the game as early as today. Like they're going into like the campaign and playing them going, what?
How about, Paul Tassi, there was a few people that actually really did some digging on this and stuff. So things were data mined as we know in this industry and stuff like that. People are always looking to try to get any information that they can possible. So supposedly websites were data mined, and this date kept on popping up. Now, we already knew the significance of this date because we were talking about this date weeks ago when they announced that they were going to do a 20th anniversary stream. It's the 20th anniversary, so the significance of tomorrow, just so everybody understands what we're talking
1
about.
1 p.m., by the way, the show, 1 p.m.
1 o'clock, there is a 20th anniversary stream that Xbox is putting on. They've already announced that they're not announcing anything new or stuff like that.
Nothing new.
Right. There's nothing new coming down the pipeline. But we already talked about, remember we were talking about, I don't know if it was when are we going to get the date? Like, remember we were speculating weeks ago, like, oh, hey, when are we going to get the date? Oh, it might be at the 20th anniversary special. We might get the fucking game at the 20th anniversary.
We might have this damn podcast, and an hour later, they're going to say something.
That's what I'm saying. Because that happens to us, too, by the way. So it's just the timing that we, unfortunately, we don't do our podcast at 10 o'clock at night. We can't wait for all the fucking news. And Sundays, the fact that news comes out on a Sunday night.
On a Sunday.
It kills me. There's Sunday night football going on. There's other shit going on. Like, stop releasing fucking gaming news on a Sunday night for my sanity. I do a fucking podcast. Do it earlier in the day if you're going to do something, so at least I could get the news going. Like, help me.
Yeah.
Fucking help me.
Please and thank you.
Please help me. Anyways, like, so there's now those people that had come out and confirmed those data leaks and stuff like that have kind of did a little 180 and like, okay, listen, it's coming out in November. It's not coming out tomorrow. I guess we'll see. But
we'll see.
Here's a couple of things that I want to talk about. One, by the way, what's playing in the background, if you're watching, is the gameplay. It's the IGN first gameplay that they put on. And it's like they got to play 4 hours of campaign, and both Ryan McCaffrey and I believe I'm going to go back because I don't want to chop her name because that's not fair to do that because this is her gameplay. Miranda Sanchez. Yep. Okay. So she was the one that got to play. A couple of people got to play it. It opened up to other outlets as well too. And they got their hands on Halo campaign. They like it. They're enjoying it. And 4 hours, the way Ryan McCaffrey made it sound, he made it sound like, oh, it's just the first 4 hours. Like, okay, how big is this fucking game?
How big is this fucking game?
How big is this game? Because we got a Call of Duty campaign that you could run through in 5 hours.
Right.
Not that I'm expecting much, because we're talking about games that, remember, where's your player base at? We already know where the player base at for Call of Duty is. So we talk about Halo. Halo's an arena shooter that has a campaign that people care about. But as of late, their campaigns haven't been up to snuff. Let's be real. Their campaigns haven't been up to snuff. So how do you get people to care about this? Well, make the campaign, I guess, longer and filled with information and story, and actually make it like have good. I wouldn't say replay value.
We're not talking about the hardcore Halo fanatics that know where this is going with the story.
The lore that read the book.
Somebody who doesn't really play Halo like that.
How do you pull somebody? How do you pull somebody back in and say, "Hey, listen, that we want you to play this along. We enjoy the multiplayer as well too, but try this out because we worked really hard on it." So that's how it is. So from their experiences and stuff like that, they enjoyed it. They thoroughly enjoyed it. They said it was a lot of fun. The whole thing.
Excited. He got excited.
Taking over the forward operating bases.
I got no worries about this campaign whatsoever. I don't.
I still take that with a grain of salt because we won't know what happens until we get there and get to it. So we still have to be. It's that cautious optimism. Yeah. But it's good to hear that this game sounds like it's in a very good state to come out. That whole conversation of, oh, it should be pushed back because it's not ready and all that shit. Like I want that conversation to kind of quietly go out the window. You know what I mean?
Agree. Yeah.
It looks exciting. And here's another thing too. And I know we're jumping around a little, but let's just say by some early Christmas miracle, they decide to drop multiplayer tomorrow. We already know multiplayer, but it sounds like it's been ready. It looked like it was ready from when we got the first technical playtest. Mm-hmm. So it looks like they're ready to rock and roll. I don't personally think, because I've seen this talked about online, and it's okay that it's been talked about online. I don't personally think that this would necessarily be like a slap in the face or a disservice to a game like Forza. Or even like Battlefield, for example, because I think in its own right, it still stands in its own right. And if Microsoft wanted to say, fuck it, this is our 20th anniversary, this is what we're doing. Halo CE launched 20 years ago, your first Xbox OG, the whole reason why we're here doing a fucking podcast about games like this, because of what happened 20 years ago. If they want to take that day and really seize the moment, maybe that's how they do it. Maybe they say, fuck it, whatever. Here it is. Drop it on your head. and then they just give us the free to play multiplayer. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm with you when it comes to that whole because I've seen some takes on it where people's like, I
And
hope
it's
it
not to
does.
say, and I'm not, and
I hope it
it's not
doesn't
like I
drop. I still got
disagree.
Forza to
And it's
play, as
yeah,
if
and it's not
Forza's
like
gonna go away. It's
correct.
not. It's part of your Game Pass services. Or if you
Yes,
bought it, it's yours to own until you decide not to own it, or you can't even disown it. But like,
correct.
if it's in your library, it's in your library, whichever way. So you can always revisit the thing. I think that whole logic, logic, that whole train of thought, it probably comes from the whole FOMO side of things, where
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss out if I don't play Halo now, and I gotta let go of Forza to play Halo because
right.
I don't want to be outranked by anybody, and that's
Correct.
where that comes in. I get that. I respect that. I get
Yep.
that. I'm the same way when it comes to first person shooters. I don't want to be left out. You know, I want to be playing it and not be outranked by
Your friends
anybody
are
in the field.
your friends playing in the past Call of Duty, and they're at third prestige, and you're fucking out here like not even level
Like,
55 yet
bro,
before
and then
you
you
even
got
get to the
the
first.
gun with the skin that I wanted. That it's like so happens to be broken. You know, it's like
Yeah.
and it works really good for the broken side of things. But Forza is going to be still played, whether or not this releases.
Not going.
Forza will be
Forza, I'm
played
sorry.
because
Newsflash: Forza's not going anywhere.
it's not going
It's,
anywhere.
it's
We
not
are
going
passionate
literally, and
about the game.
people are playing that game, man. I'm sorry, it is.
Correct. We're passionate about that game, and if we're that passionate about the game, we will continue playing that game.
Yeah.
If by any chance Halo does drop tomorrow, the multiplayer, and we stop playing Forza and drops in numbers, then that tells you a whole different story. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with it's because Halo's out, because really it grabbed your attention to something else came out, and that's a whole different conversation.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
That you were just using this as filler, but I don't think
Right.
Forza's really. I don't think I wouldn't say Forza's
Forza's not
filler. I
that.
think
Forza's not that.
it's a complete title in its own right, but it's also different in its own right as well too. Because the people that
I
really
don't
want to play
mind.
Forza will continue to play Forza.
I don't mind playing my first person shooter and then it, like pop out of that and go into my car racing
And I'm gonna
Forza
go wind. And I'm
okay,
gonna go
now
wind
something
down.
different for my eyes.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't need to be
Yes.
playing first person all day every day, you know.
Yes.
Especially when I have my Battlefield Halo coming out, I still play Insurgency. I'm gonna need that Forza like in that rotation heavily,
The actual rotation.
So I can like see something different on my screen. Even though they're all different genres.
And the other possible rumor as well too that was being speculated was that a single player demo of Halo Infinite would have been dropping with the release of the multiplayer tomorrow, and that's what they were going to give, basically like a taste of the game. I mean, realistically speaking, if you from a timetable, we're less than a month away from the game dropping, so let's not like be like the game's. It's not getting delayed. Like the game's coming out. Okay, it's as far as we know right now, the game's coming out December 8th. There's a possibility that something goes down tomorrow and we're having a totally different conversation and we're playing the multiplayer tomorrow. Hopefully, I hope that's the case. If it doesn't happen, that's okay too. Because then, like I said, other people were backtracking saying, hey, they might still try to push it out to November and still release it in November because it looks like the game was ready and stuff like that. I don't have a problem with them dropping the multiplayer and the single player separately as well too. I don't think it's going to split the player base or anything. I think people get to experience the multiplayer just fine, and if the single player launches after, they'll be able to experience the single player as well too.
Yeah.
Me personally, like if they were going to drop on the same day, I was going to play the single player first, and then I was getting on multiplayer. That's just me personally. That's what I want to do. But in this case, if this you won't see me on a lot of other things. I mean, you might not fucking see me next week. if it drops tomorrow, I'm just being real. If it drops tomorrow, I might
have a podcast.
The podcast might be a recorded podcast. Like it just might be some crazy shit. Because I might actually lose it. I'll be really excited, but we'll see what happens. So that's really I think all that needs to be said on that.
Has reached. It looks like it's going to reach that fever pitch, and if with a game like Forza hitting 8 million, I'm only curious to see where this game's going to hit.
I responded to Tim. I don't know if you saw like my tweet when I put that. I literally said, okay, so because I think he was talking about when Forza got to like 7 million or something like that, and I basically said something to the effect of, just so we're clear, if Halo doesn't reach these at least this number, we're flipping tables, right? I proposed that question.
I commented with the lady flipping the table like,
because I don't want to hear if we could get 8 million people on a driving game, I think we could get 8 million users on Halo active at the same time. I don't fucking know. I don't know, because that's another thing too. Like remember that number is totality. That's another thing too. Like and not to go back on what we were talking about already with Forza, but that's total players. That's not total players active at one given time. Let's not be silly. No, but there's a lot of people.
The servers would have like crashed at that point. Yeah,
but there's a lot of people playing Forza, and just like I hope there will be a lot of people playing Halo when it comes out. So yeah, man, I'm really excited. Either way, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a
whole lot of fun. It's I mean, listen, we're Xbox gamers. You're on the PC side. You get privilege to this as well as far as Game Pass PC, and we're sitting here going, I don't give a shit. Drop it now, drop it later. We're eating, like, we're having fun. What we got, like,
yeah, man.
This is like for Xbox gamers, players. We've been on Xbox for quite some time, and we've never had, like, Xbox has been great, but we never had this. And then looking forward to 2022, going, holy shit, we got just games after games just coming out. I've never, like, now the fight is no longer, man, dry spell. What are we gonna do to E3? What game are we gonna play? What's coming out, man? I'm so bored. I finished this twice already. Now the conversation is, yo, I don't have time to play all of these games. How do I balance it? I got a backlog. Come on, yo, Xbox, slow it down, bro. Like, slow it down. Like, that's what we're talking about.
We can't. And this is the exact opposite, where I'm like, fuck, foot on the pedal.
It's a good problem to have. Don't get me wrong.
It's like foot on the pedal, keep it coming.
Oh yeah, great problem to have. I'll take this over what we used to have, like 100 times over.
Yeah.
But that's our Forza. The next topic we are talking about, this is going to be it just that little game. I think it's made by an independent developer. It's called Battlefield 2042.
Small indie game studio, DICE, with small
they call it
publisher.
DICE, or is it DICE or DICE?
I don't know. Listen. You're the one that started with the fucking pronunciations. You couldn't say chivalry earlier in the episode, so I get. Yeah, if you want to call it DICE, that's fine, but just be prepared for the hate comments.
Yeah, right. No, this is the studio DICE, who is known for making games, the Battlefield series. Came out with 2042. If you guys have not followed this pod or even us on Twitter, we've been talking about this for months.
Yeah, man.
When Nick hears this pod, he's gonna be like, wow. He's into it too, but the tags will be taken. We haven't played the game yet, but we will soon. Battlefield 2042. Listen, you're gonna get two impressions out of this, because Logic's a PC player. He got his own experience. I'm a console player. I got my own experience. Yeah. I'll start with what I experienced on it. I'm okay. It's weird because the community is split down the middle on this game. It's just let's call it what it is. It's down the middle split. There are those who fuck this game. And
talk about your experience.
I'm going to talk about my experience
on an Xbox Series X.
Right.
X. Talk about your
I've
experience
never
on an Xbox
experienced
Series.
such a polished Battlefield game on a launch. Like, I've not experienced a polished.
So you play Battle. So, and just to clarify, I want to clarify this, because I guess I'll be that guy. I'll be the devil's advocate guy while we go through this real quick. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Battlefield 5, Battlefield, like you played. Okay. Battlefield 1.
I played it.
Battlefield 4.
Definitely played that.
Battlefield 3.
Played that.
Battlefield Bad Company 2.
2 and 1.
Okay, and then going back, and then I don't know if you actually
played the
I
started my Battlefield from that point.
From the Bad Companies.
Yeah,
so and Vietnam as well too, sprinkled in there as well. Battlefield Vietnam and all that. Yeah. And then 1943, which was the little arcade version of Battlefield. Remember that?
Which is fun.
Which was a lot of fun too. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. So you're saying this game right now is the most polished Battlefield that you've played at launch?
Yep.
Your experience.
It's my experience, yes.
Okay.
Because with I'll explain. Battlefield 4 was not polished. I think came out broken. It was hard to get games.
I don't want you to go back during the time. I'm just saying.
But
with 2042 though,
if you played Battlefield before and you're a fan of the series, you know that when a Battlefield comes out, the running joke there, the stigma is that day one of these games coming out, Battlefield series, there's always that broken server. I can't get into a game. Yep. What the hell's going on? It happened with this one, but they quickly resolved it.
It's not without its bugs.
It's not without its bugs.
And it's not without some of the server issues as well too.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the congrats, man. It's not without its issues. It has its bugs. I'm not sitting here telling you that this game is perfect.
Correct.
It has its bugs. The bugs I've experienced, I'm going to talk about my experience. The bugs I've experienced, the most annoying one is the medic. When I go down, there's a bug where if you go down in the game and let's say Logic is about to heal me, but then he gets interrupted, gets shot at as he's healing me and doesn't complete that task, I am now stuck in a loop where I'm on the floor. I can't call out for revive. I can't get revived by anybody.
And you can't Can you redeploy? Like you have to go and hit the start and
Nope,
like
I have to
redeploy it?
dashboard out and come back in. You
Oh,
can't
really? So
redeploy.
it's like a hard
It's a
line. Okay.
hard bug.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's the out of all the bugs I've experienced, that's the highest one I've experienced. It's
Okay.
annoying and it needs to get fixed. That
Okay.
bug is, I can tell you, I will say 1 out of 3 games I experienced that bug.
Launch night, you played a lot of so you've experienced, because I want to also kind of ask you as well too. You played Hazard Zone, I think launch night with Money and my brother,
That was it. Yeah.
and then you played. Have you played anything? Have you played
I've
Conquest? You played
since that
Conquest,
night, I played Conquest,
Breakthrough,
and then
and then
Portals.
did you you went to Portals and you played
Went
on
to
the Portal
Portals.
servers? Okay.
I played the Battlefield 3 Portal server, Bad Company 2
Yes.
Portal server, and then I did the what's his name, Courage JD's thing, the VIP thing.
The VIP
I
mode.
did that. That was cool.
How cool was it seeing the Battlefield 3 and the old school maps inside of this engine?
Not only that, it's not just the map, it's the details of it. The grenade has the happy face on the Bad Company 2
and the Levolution in the maps as well too are still in there in Portal. It's almost like it's its own separate game. Like if you actually said, "Hey, can you go remaster Battlefield 3 for me?"
That's exactly what it is.
And then DICE said, "All right, we'll do it."
They could have called it Battlefield Portal Remasters. They could have done that.
And this is when we could get into the conversation about here comes some of the hate, like, "Oh, Battlefield's only launching with 22 guns." Battlefield's only launching with 7 maps. And then you say, "Oh, you got Battlefield Portal." And then you're like, "Oh, that rehash shit." I'm like, "Yeah, but that shit was fun." And the fact that it's not like it doesn't look like
that whole rehash conversation, that rehash shit is kind of lame, because we're sitting here talking about how many old games we're playing.
You'll play Call of Duty and you'll play Nuketown for the fucking 10th iteration, right? But you're gonna bitch when they actually put a updated next generation version.
By the way, you're not renting these servers. These are straight open for everyone. Like you can go in there and play these things and create.
And that's another thing. And on the PC side, you could actually rent the servers and have your own custom servers as well too.
Right.
A downside to that is you get overall XP when you play on Portal, but you don't get any progression if you're playing 2042 soldiers with 2042 weapons. You don't get unlocks. So the only way to get unlocks is if you play Hazard Zone and if you play Breakthrough and Conquest. So that's the only way to actually get. And so far, the only way to get other game modes like Rush and TDM and stuff, but even with 2042, is to go into the people that have
I love me some Rush.
And you can play Rush, like playing Rush on the new. Like it's crazy. It's a crazy idea.
The sound when I first heard the sounds again, the MCOM sounds,
get flashbacks and shit. It's like oh my god, it's insane. Yeah. It's freaking insane.
No, so my experience so far on the console side of things, barring all bugs, is that I know it's gonna get fixed. They'll get fixed. It's been nothing but great. I've been playing with Money and your brother. It's been awesome. The only thing I would say is that there's a lot of conversation on the other side that don't like the game. They're calling it a broken game, and I don't know if people should rethink that, because I know what a broken game is. I've played a broken game. I've played a broken Battlefield. I played the Battlefield that was broken. You couldn't even get in the game for like a week or two. You couldn't get in the game. I played a broken Call of Duty. I played titles that are broken. This is not that. You can. Especially now that the hot fix yesterday.
Mind you, this is not chilling. We're not sponsored by EA. There's no sponsored stream coming from us as well too. They didn't buy, our copies of the games as well too. So
unlike Dr. Disrespect, we're not shadow banned.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's just weird. My whole thing is, I played on my PC. Mind you, I have a pretty solid PC outside of my graphics card. Unfortunately, I don't have a top of the line GPU. It's crazy out here. It's hard to get a GPU, man.
Yes,
it's really difficult to kind of get one, and to get one that actually works with a lot of these games. I'll tell you this Battlefield, as beautiful and as pretty as it looks, and the experience that people are having, I'm glad that people are having that experience. Unfortunately, that wasn't my experience. I haven't been able to run this game at optimal settings. I haven't been able to experience that lore, unfortunately, and all of that stuff, at least on my PC side. I've been downgraded. This game, unfortunately, requires a pretty decently upgraded graphics card to get it going, essentially. And it's a DirectX 12 title. It's to be expected. And that's just what it is. So it's not for the weak. And insert your shit is weak meme right here, because literally, like, my PC was struggling. Mind you, a lot of other games it plays no problem, stuff like that when I lowered down settings, but on its lowest settings on my PC, unfortunately, I haven't been having a good experience. That's me personally. I know on the console it runs great and stuff like that. So I'm just waiting to hopefully maybe sometime in the next couple of weeks, months, get an updated GPU so I can really experience Battlefield, because a lot of my I played Battlefield on console for years. Battlefield 4, I remember playing a lot with the guys on on stream. Battlefield 3 as well too. Bad Company, I played a lot on console and stuff. But as of late, the other Battlefield titles like Battlefield 1 or even 4, some of the tail end of it, I played on PC. I love the PC experience. I like playing on PC like with the DOF guys and stuff with my dad. You know what I mean? Like that's where they're at. That's what it is, and that's the
We
experience.
spoke about this. We have our circles, or with certain games, we have our circles we play with. We spoke about
this. And this was one of the games where like shit, I got to own it in both places, because it's like I got but not necessarily, because as long as I can have a decent experience, not to say with the crossplay, because the game is crossplay, right? But that's another thing, and I think this might be attuned to the early access. Unfortunately, crossplay has been giving PC players a lot of problems. Yeah. So right now, a lot of the PC
I didn't mention the day one patch is Friday. We are playing the game without day one patch.
Yes. So that's another thing as well too. Maybe this game is completely different come this Friday when it officially launches to like the masses, right? To anybody that just got the game without getting a gold version, or who wasn't playing on EA Play Pro as well too. So that's the hope as well too. Maybe it's a little more optimized and a little more, maybe I get a little better of an experience.
This is hope. Yeah.
But other than that, my dad's friends, stuff like that, they're all playing. They literally, as we speak, as we're doing this podcast, they're playing right now. They're enjoying it. They're having a good time. For the little bit that I was able to play and that it was able to run smooth, it was cool, man. The tornado, I'll never get over there being a tornado inside of my multiplayer game, and then I'm the wingsuit character, and then it says open like when you get close enough, and then you open it, and it just fucking slingshots you like around the map. Like in real life, I think like a tornado would just like instantly like kill you. But I guess just for lore, like we'll just
play Handzone with my son. Yeah. He's wingsuiting, and he goes, and he's all the way behind us. I'll catch up, guys. This kid jumps in the tornado, his wingsuit, and like gets to us. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, look, the tornado. I'm with you. The whole tornado thing in this game.
The dust storm as well too.
Yeah, campaign, like a story element to the campaign. It is just an amazing thing to be playing in the game, and you hear this like gushing, and then the breeze, and you turn around, here's an F5 coming at you, and you're like, "Yo, is that a real thing?" And it's not a cosmetic thing. It's not just sprites going in circles. These things, when they hit the building, especially like buildings that have glass on it, it shatters it, man. It takes the doors out of, like, it blows everything out, like it literally implodes all the glass out and whatever's on the ground floor, just furniture, just out. I'm like, the level of detail in this game is amazing. Now, I do turn off, I know you do this too, I do turn off all the bells and whistles type of thing.
Motion blur and certain things like that. I'm a performance first person, but I'll tell you this much though, but from a visual standpoint, the game is, if you're running on a Series X, on a Series S, on a capable PC, it's a beautiful game, man. It just to see the way the game looks, the texture and stuff like that, it's good.
And that's what I meant by polished. That's what I meant by polished. Like, I remember when they introduced Evolution in Battlefield 4 or before that, but with Battlefield 4 they went crazy with it, and that first experience with Evolution was not it. It was like, what is this? It's not really, the building's not really collapsing. It's looking weird. To this, a damn F5 tornado hit, like, and it gets big. Look, it's not just that it spawns on the map. You can see it form the little funnel coming down, and then it just gets bigger and bigger the more it sucks up. Like
the way the whole thing is animated, it's random too. I don't think there's one track that the storm actually takes. Random. I think every time it actually comes in, it comes in at a different spot, and it'll cross different ways as well too, and take a different path every time.
It has its own mind, like its own
that
thing.
In itself, is pretty crazy. And then also the other stuff too, when you play on orbital, and then you could shoot the rocket. We were able to do this in the play test that they had in the beta, essentially. But just stuff like that as well too, just the ways from maps play. So 7 maps with just 2042, but then all of the back maps that they're pulling from as well too. There's a whole ton of stuff. And then the classic weapons, classic guns, classic vehicles and stuff like that. It's
having fun with it, man.
I still think there's some things with there's little tidbits and stuff like that, like with vehicles. Me personally, like, yes, Battlefield has always been a game really where you focus on the air combat, the vehicle combat and stuff like that. But me personally, I'll never not enjoy a game where it's just like, just give me a couple of APCs and a couple of Jeeps and like the EV, the electric vehicles. Leave all that other shit out.
By the way, those things sound great.
Yeah. So it's really cool how they animated and did all that stuff. But sometimes, like, and it's not really being a traditionalist, but sometimes I really just like the boots on the ground, like the just a regular infantry combat. And I used to go on. I remember real quick before we switch to the next topic as well too. I remember my dad having BF2 installed on his computer, and I remember literally this is like being a kid BF2, right? Being out and stuff like that, and playing BF2 on PC and looking for the servers that were like infantry only. So you would play the same. It would be like strike. It would be strike at Karkan or whatever like that. And sometimes I'd jump in a server, and this was the cool thing about PC back then. You'd have a server where it was like pistols, knives only. Or you'd have a server where they just got all the vehicles, and then it was just, it's literally just you start at one point, and then you're doing like the whole conquest kind of thing, and you're working your way down the map. And as you take different objectives, the map opens up and everything, like with strike at Karkan. And then you would just go down, you take the one objective, and then you'd keep moving and stuff. But it was like an actual just battle. And it was just like, your side versus the other side and stuff. I remember that was a lot of fun. So that's why sometimes I like that aspect of it. So that's why I like the custom servers. I hope as they get deeper into the game being out, they open more of that up, for the console side as well too. And that, like, for you to be able to search for those servers, which you could do now. But I just hope there's more of that comes, and that it's just a little more refined and more polished as it
does seem like this game is not your typical turn and burn game where next year we have another Battlefield and another. It feels like it's going to be one of those games. Now that they've included the battle passes, it's going to be around for quite a while.
And with Portal and what they could do with Portal, because you realize what they could add. I mean, they could literally pull, if they were able to pull in stuff and bring up stuff from your Battlefield 3s and your Bad Company 2s and stuff. What else can they add from those games? What else can they add from like a Battlefield 2 game? What if we get the early iteration? Remember when I used to talk about real quick Battlefield 2043? Was it because 2040 or not 2043?
No, not 43. You're talking about
2142. I'm sorry, excuse me. 2142, which takes place 100 years in the future.
Which this is the prequel.
This is the prequel to that. Yeah. But where you had fucking helicarriers and shit. Like, imagine if they actually do that, where they put that type of mode in like an early version of that mode, but they make it like it's like a sea level.
They did say they were going to tell a story through multiplayer. How they're going to do that? It's probably going to be through the seasons.
Where if they could actually build that up and set that and set up to that.
I would love that.
So I think the possibility is endless. Like I said, it wouldn't be. I think Missing said it perfectly. It wouldn't be a BF game without its bugs and shortcomings in its launch. But I think it still has a good framework to improve upon and patch and stuff and keep going. I think the player base is going to be there as well too and stuff. It'll definitely be a game that'll be in the rotation.
Honestly, I think it's one of those games that and I look at it from this point of view. You got to think about this is a brand new design for Battlefield. This doesn't play like older traditional Battlefield. Brand new design. I'm not sure if it's a new engine. I don't think it is, but brand new design, brand new animations, brand new characters. The specialist thing is brand new to the Battlefield thing. Now that part splits the community. The specialist thing. I don't really. It doesn't hit me as hard. I'd rather go back to traditional Battlefield the way it was. This doesn't hit me as hard though because I'm a COD player and COD's been doing this for quite some time. Apex has been doing this. So it's like, I've broken myself into that mode to go, it doesn't affect me as much. But with all that being said, all the fun I'm having, I do say that the game would have benefited from a 6-month cooking. Like, bake it for 6 more months.
I think so too.
And it would have been just exactly what we're talking about right now, plus.
And that's the sentiment that you've seen with other big-time reviewers as well too, not to just name drop and stuff like that. We don't know them personally, but like, Skill Up. You get a skill up and stuff like that. Like, Skill Up just flat out was like, this game in 6 to 12 months is going to be good. Right now, can't recommend it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that's just him personally and stuff like that. That was his experience playing on a PC, playing with high-end hardware, and having a difficult time playing the game like the way, because that's another thing too. And it could be a little, not egotistical, but sometimes when you have a PC that has top-notch shit in it, and you can't get a game that should be running at a certain way, and it doesn't run a certain way, unfortunately, this could be a testament to it being still like early release, early access, and stuff like that. We'll never know. I still think too, at the end of the day, and this will be the last thing I say on it, if you're going to put out something early at this point, stop holding these fucking day one updates. Your day one update comes out on the day that this fucking game,
when your servers go live,
that's when your
access or not.
That's when your update goes live. Sorry.
I don't think
your day one patch goes live.
Especially if we're paying the extra buck.
Whatever it is,
we're paying the extra buck. Release that damn day one. Like, it doesn't even matter because the ones next week are not going to be affected by us getting day one pass today. Like, What that's a whole different topic.
But I think that's a missed opportunity, unfortunately, too.
It
Especially when
is
you incentivize people to try to get the higher editions to let them know that, hey, you're getting a week's early play, but that shouldn't be at the cost of having a poorer experience. Like, you
correct.
know what I mean? Like, you
Correct.
should, if you're gonna cater to those diehards who either got EA Play Pro and to be able to get into it and play all your
Yeah.
EA titles at first, or anybody that bought the gold edition or higher, then cater to them.
Yeah.
Then fucking do it.
You
Basically,
got
is
hardcore
my sentiment.
Battlefield gamers that are also on the critic side of like they're saying, yo,
Yeah,
what happened? Give it 6 months. So I quite understand that.
yeah.
We just gotta. I will leave it with this note. My final thoughts on it is we got to reevaluate us saying broken game. This is not a broken game. I see that too much on
No,
the socials. Broken game, broken game. This is not a broken game. We've all played broken games. This is not that at all. This is not it at all. I mean, even recently, Cyberpunk for last gen consoles. You want to talk about broken? Even that. Also, I want to leave it on a note of if you're not having a good experience with it, or even if you're having a good experience with it, stop invalidating someone else's opinion, like
yeah.
someone else's fun. We talked about this earlier. Stop invalidating someone else's fun.
Like, I
If you're having a
literally,
good or bad experience, then speak on that. You're having good or bad experience on it. But if it's not affecting you, good or bad, and you're not playing the game, I find that cringy. Like to talk about something you haven't experienced yet and then say it's my problem. It's bad because I if you're not going through that, then don't speak on it. It's if you have the game and you have a bad experience, tell me what a bad experience you're having so I can see and avoid that. Or maybe go, okay, I understand this person plays Battlefield. I get it. But I'll leave it on that. Like I've played broken games. We've all played broken games. This ain't it. This ain't
the
it at all.
last thing I'll leak real quick right here. See this? It's my dad. That's
Jeez. Yeah,
Magic.
it's your
That's
dad.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
See Squad 1, Squad 2. Like,
Nice.
people out here, Jesco, his son, Jazz,
So when we spoke
Boosa.
about Battlefield, we're not
Like,
just talking
we
about
out.
it. He's
These
about
are
it.
all. These are PC players. This
Yeah.
is a clan, Team DOF. We've been around 20 years. My dad's one of the original founders of this clan right here. This is where I get all of my PC now. Everything from that guy right there, and then this is where my love for video games comes from and stuff like that. Being in fucking rooms
Mhm.
and parties with these people, growing up, literally my childhood being inside of TS servers before we had Discord. Literally before we had Discord, being inside of TeamSpeak servers, fucking playing Battlefield 2
Nice.
until, like, my dad got off because maybe he didn't want to stay up all night, or when he set up the computer in the living room, he was in the bedroom, had his computer, and he set up another computer in the living room when I would come over, and we'd fucking just game all night long. Like, you know what I'm saying? So from an early age. So
Missing
yeah,
no,
man.
I mean we're not trying to say the game, we're just speaking on our experience on it. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you already have what you have, you got a lot of games that I see you like talk about. There's no need to like go early adopter on it. You can, I mean, if you want to wait, you can. I mean, with Forza and Resident Evils that you be playing and a lot of other games you've been playing, you're good. Like by all means, we're not sitting here going, go buy the game or go avoid the game. We're not saying anything. We're just saying our experience is what it is. Two different experiences, PC,
On console, like I
and
said, I haven't really heard a lot of negative things like from console players. You specifically as well. Like, it runs on, at least on an Xbox, on current
it
gen.
runs smooth.
I haven't. It runs good on current gen. That's really,
I've heard that too. That it runs good on current gen.
it
But
runs good on current gen.
that's our Battlefield impressions and
Yeah, man.
discussions. It is early access impressions. Next week, this week coming up. What date is that? The 19th. The 19th, it drops for everybody who wants to pick it up. You don't have to have a higher edition. It'll be opened up for everybody. But that's it. The next topic we want to talk about, let's see what we have here on tap. This one. We have this one. Yeah, this one is very important to the community. Let me put that up there here. You already did. Okay.
I got you.
GTA Trilogy definitive, I mean, loosely termed and quote unquote definitive edition. Yeah, gamers want their money back, man. They're demanding their money back.
I'm gonna pull up the link that you sent to. There's a couple of things. So I'll start with this one first while I'm pulling this up. So a couple of things. Were you able to play San Andreas?
I don't have any interest in it.
Okay. Like, you played it when it originally came out, right?
Yeah, and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I mean, my favorite is Vice City, but I did play San Andreas. I enjoyed it.
My favorite of this trilogy was Vice City, hands down. I wish that was the one on Game Pass. It's not. That's perfectly fine. I never got to play San Andreas.
I guess I don't want my previous memories of me playing San Andreas to be all messed up with this definitive edition. I've seen enough to go, nope, I don't want to do it.
Okay, so and that's the thing. So it's one thing, and I we talked about this briefly as well too before we went live, but I think that's the thing about this as well, is that it's not just like a small minority of people coming out saying, "Hey, this shit like is crazy." Like the fact that they actually charge $60 for this, like because it seems like a cash grab. It seems like something that you do when it's
That's
like
that's
you
the
want to
hot
put
the hot
something
key, the hot word right now.
you
Cash
want
grab.
to you want to put something out. You got something. You get everybody excited about it. You do 11, 11, 21. Boom. You like, yo, here's the 3 remastered. I was just playing it before we went live. I was literally just playing on the Xbox. I'm not going to sit here and like, it looks cool. It looks good. Like in the first couple of minutes that I'm playing and stuff like that, it feels good and it looks good for the whole remaster. Definitely, because the only remastered versions that I played, I have them on PC. So I have the older or the PC ports of these games on fucking Steam. That's, you want to talk about troubling fucking. I'd rather go buy a fucking PS2 and plug that in at this than play the PC port versions, because boy, that was difficult. Like playing the PC, and that's where the controller and stuff, because that's not with, if you, because like you said, based on mods and what people have done for the game and stuff like that. You know, there have been the mod community. Remember, Rockstar shut all of that shit down so they could give you this now, and what they gave you, unfortunately. I don't think it's up me personally, and this is just my experience with San Andreas, and from what other people are saying, I don't think it's up to snuff. Mind you, the people that actually did this as well, and I'm going to show this real quick on screen, these people aren't new. So this is Grove Street Games. If you actually look at the history of what they've done, so real quick, so they've done the Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy. So I'm sure this is basically just this, not subsidiary, but another breakoff studio from Rockstar, from Take-Two, right? But look, Ark, Bully, Scholarship Edition, Arulix, I don't even know what the hell that's about. But we got over here too, so game history, and I was just looking through this before, so that's why I think I was a little. I'm going to start here. So, and they show you here, right? So, definitive edition, all the platforms that they made this for, right? So this is a lot: PS5, Series XS, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. This is multi-generation as well to PC. Boom, you got all that out the way. Arc, they ended up putting it on iOS and Android. Bully Anniversary Edition, iOS, Android. So there's a little
theme. The history of the company.
This is the history of this company that actually remastered this. You're going to notice a little bit of a theme here. Android, iOS, PC, iOS, Android, iOS, Android, Chinatown Wars. Okay, that was the D. Remember that? Wasn't that the DS?
I remember. I remember.
Okay, I remember that. That was sick. I was sick on the DS. That's classic. San Andreas, PS3, 360, when they redid it for, you know, like I guess an HD version or whatever for PS3, 2013. Right here, The Conduit HD, Android, iOS, Android, Vice City, 10th anniversary. Vice City. Yeah. Okay, 2012. That was another thing, 2002 to 2012, 10 years. But the theme and the commonality here, 10-year anniversary, Grand Theft Auto, mobile, they're basically, it looks like they're a mobile game developer. And they have history in taking games and doing like not remastered versions, I guess, but essentially remastered versions of the games that have come out from Rockstars, pretty much, and putting them on mobile devices. But not so much where it's like, it's been a while since they've had to make a game for a console. Their last time that they have actually made
2 cycles ago is when they started.
The last time they made a game, PS3, Xbox 360. Other than that, they had the one PC, you know, which I won't count that. I mean, I won't count that, but then right here. So I just want to let people understand too. It's like when people say, because this goes back to, for me personally, this is kind of like when people said, "Oh, BioWare with Mass Effect Andromeda." Like, who made this fucking game, or who made this remaster? And this is not supposed to be a hate thread or a hate speech and stuff like that. But, and I don't want to direct hate towards these people, because listen,
it's not hate.
It's not about hate, but just have to understand something. Like, these companies have quality control. These companies, like, there's no way that they submitted this and then people over at Rockstar said, "Oh yeah, no, this is good. This should go." Or maybe they did because they literally
especially when the modding community that they took the mods from, like, they took all that support from, they took them away, they banned it, had better mods that made this game look a whole lot, the character model look a whole lot better than their remastered. Look, and I understand the difference between remastered and remake. We understand that very clearly. We know what a remaster should look like and what a remake is. Understandably, no, we know exactly what those two terms are. If you're having fun with the game, then you're a fan of the game. Great. We're not invalidating that. We want you to have fun with the game. It's not that. This is not this. We're simply saying that there are gamers out there that are saying this is not it. This is not a remaster. I mean, I've seen gameplay on the rain effects, and it looks like sprites. Well, not sprites, but it looks like they copy pasted it
I
onto
have that
the
video.
scene.
I have that video bookmarked. I specifically bookmarked that video,
It's
and I was
hard,
going
man.
to show
I
it.
mean,
And
you're
like I said,
asking me to pay $60 for this. Like,
and this
I
is,
get
and
it. It's
we've
3 games. I get it. It's 3 games, but I'm not gonna play the first GTA. I may play Vice City, and I'm not interested in San Andreas because I don't want to play San Andreas. So 60. If you're selling out a cart, that's different. But 60. Look at this. $60 for something like this. Like, I mean, I don't. I'm gonna say it, and it's probably gonna be a trigger word, but
I mean, Twitter
it's
doesn't do
lazy
it this
remastered.
justice.
It's
Yeah.
lazy remastered.
And Twitter doesn't do this justice, unfortunately, because we already know, like, the
No,
Twitter,
the compressed videos and
right.
everything. Yeah.
But still, though, this is great. Like, the only lighting effects that you have is when there's actual lightning. Other than that, you could basically barely see what's going on. This is a game, like, I mean, granted, this game originally came out back in 2000 and what?
And I get that. I get it
Like,
came out a while ago, and a remake would have made it justice. A remake would have made it justice. But let's not pretend like a remaster shouldn't get the works. It
this is
should get
basically
the
what,
works.
like a 20-year anniversary. Like, if you think about, has it really been like 20 years? You
Yeah.
mean to tell me that with other games doing remake, like, you literally saw what you just saw what they did with Mass Effect and the Legendary Edition.
Yep.
And they didn't take off. And they didn't take off. And here's the best part of that one too. And here's where I'll actually give EA some props. They didn't take off the original fucking games. You can still go play original Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 if you want to. If you have them, if you own them, you can play them.
You know what
if
they did with
PC,
this, right? It's come out of it. The news has come out that what Take-Two did with this is all they did was took the original files, not delete, but remove some of like the hot coffee mod and some of the songs, just removed it from the actual master copy.
Yes.
They didn't work on the game at all. It's just remove,
Yeah.
and then added I forgot what they call this post effect thing where it scans the game and it cleans it up so that it can get better textures and that's it. That's all it is. I get that. And here you go. I get it if that's what you want to give me, but $60,
a 60,
my man,
you're fucking out of your mind.
No, I worked way too hard for $60, man.
You're lucky I installed this fucking game because of Game Pass. How about that one?
I think I did that. I pre-installed it. Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for Game Pass, I probably wouldn't have. I wasn't buying. We said this I wasn't buying this because I don't think $60 was the point. And
we said this.
This is more or less. I don't want to be like sitting here and say like, "Hey, I told you so." But I'm sure, and there are people that, and I'm not going to. Once again, we've talked about this too. There are people here that are enjoying this. There are people here that never got to experience this. But what I also say to those people too is that if you can find a fucking retro console and find a good copy of this game and go play it on a PS2. And you might do yourself some justice there, you know what I mean, and experience it that way at that point. Or I
don't think you can. I didn't think it was possible to make a game make a great game that was great on running on PS2 look worse. Like it looks worse. Like how do you make it look worse? How do you do that? Like, and that's where I'm at. And I hate to be the doom and gloom because I'm not that guy, but. Yeah. On the positive side, if you guys purchased this, playing it through Game Pass or bought the whole entire thing, kudos to you if you're having fun. Yeah. At the end of the day, as a gamer, you should be having fun. And what we're saying shouldn't change that thought process for you.
This is personal experience and based on and also too the overall sentiment as well too from people. This isn't like, hey, I'm just gonna go and shit on something because I don't like Rockstar or I don't like because I love GTA 5. And it's 19th iteration that we fucking keep on getting at this point, and we're going to continue to get because you're going to have to literally pry GTA 6 out of their cold, dead fucking hands if you want to see it. Okay,
I think if I end up playing it, it's just solely to find out how the controls feel because I've heard mixed reactions about it. Because I heard that they improved it to a GTA 5 controller, but then I'm hearing from gamers who's playing it, it's not that. It's still clunky. It's still bad. So I want to try at least that. Like I want to get in there. My son was playing it. I literally walked in the room and all I can hear was "what the," and he cursed, and I heard him curse. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm not." He goes, "No, Papi, this is not wow." I'm like, "All right, and this man, he's a 20-year-old kid. This is his first time."
I was gonna say, did you let him? So real quick on the parenting thing, because we could jump to the next topic too, because there's really not that much more to say about it. But did you let him play GTA as a kid, like before he was?
I'm not sure if it was out or not, but no,
Like
he
or
didn't play it.
supervised or okay.
He didn't play it. I tell you that much. He
Okay.
didn't play it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because,
It's
oh,
not for
that's a
everyone
bad
because it's not for
game.
everyone. It's definitely an adult, right?
It's
It's
not.
definitely
It's
an
not.
adult themed game. You
And I
know.
remember, I'm old enough to remember when GTA came out, like the original GTA's. It was like it was one of those what do you call that, PSAs, where it's like you can't, the kids can be playing this. This is bad, and sex is in it, and it's like grow up, whatever. But I don't remember me saying he didn't play it, but it wasn't because I said you're young, you can't play it.
You
It was
shouldn't
just
play it.
it was not around like that. At that time he was
It wasn't as
younger.
prevalent. Back then, I guess when I was growing up, I should say, like we were getting it fucking every couple of years. We were getting GTA's at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was only a couple of years after they did
Good old
this.
days.
GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, all of that, and then we got GTA 4. Not 2006, 2007. I think we got
Take Two. Remember those days? You used to like bring out games every other 2 years or something. I used to just pump out game Bully and Red Dead every day. Like you just pump out. Remember that? Let's get back to that, man. Let's get back. Stop doing this to the gamers, man. The actual ones that are supporting you are fighting for you. I want that to happen. Give me a GTA 6. Give me something other than this. Oh, definitive edition. Let's move on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's that. What's the next thing we got here? I believe we're closing it up. Anyways, we the next couple of topics are really small. We have well, I wouldn't say smaller, the Gunk, but we do have the Gunk. Where'd it go?
I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay.
I don't think we actually had like something set up for it, but I'm just gonna pull up the article now for it.
I just saw it. They went away. Well, anyways, the Gunk is a game I've been following since they first announced it. If you guys don't know what this is, it's been unspoken of for months now since they first introduced it to us. And I was kind of worried it wasn't. I mean, they still had a placeholder for December launching, and I was worried that it wasn't going to come out because this game, along with Scorn, was announced that it was still coming out December. And then recently, Scorn, they said
this was one of the
games
that we talked about back when they did the Xbox showcase, right? And then they were like, and then this was the game that because along with Ascent, because wasn't this the game like they didn't show during showcase, but then they started. But after that, I think later on in the week, or I forget, like during E3.
Well, remember, I was talking about how they're probably going to show it off at Gamescom. They're probably going to show it off at TGS. Never happened. It just wasn't.
But we finally there's finally gameplay out of it and stuff like that. But then we got
it and a street date. There's two.
Yeah.
I was worried because Scorn was alongside of this for my games to look forward to, and Scorn got delayed a couple of weeks ago, months ago. They say, "Hey, it's delayed." I'm going, "No, please tell me the Gunk is still coming out." They came out the other day this week, and they said the Gunk is as a full-on street date, December 16th is the street date on this. It will be coming out on Game Pass. And if you guys don't know what the Gunk is, please check out that video. There's some gameplay that came out, but essentially the way I would explain this game is Biomutants. With some, if you guys remember that game Enslaved, which is that that Journey to the West kind of a game. It has that feeling and it has the exploration on it. Like the world it screams explore me. Come check me out. It just and it's from the creators of SteamWorld. So this is a complete departure from what they're used to doing as far as game designs go. I've never seen this from them. So this game here, and it was introduced, but this game here has a full-on campaign. I believe it could probably be about 5 or 6 hours of campaign. But I'm happy that they finally announced it, and I'm getting the animation style is to me is like, look at this. And this is an independent developer, by the way, which by the way has been ruling this generation, independent developers, which is another Game Pass banger in my opinion. But this will be day one, December 16th. It's called The Gunk. If you guys are not excited about this, man, I would ask you to rewatch this, rethink it, and just watch what this game's about. It's really good, man. It screams exploration. It's open world. It's not linear. It's like hub worlds, Okay. Like it has hub worlds, so you can travel different worlds.
Biomes.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for. And it looks like you have your little bot that you can set up. Damn, what's that game? I'm thinking about a game that's on Game Pass. I'm not even gonna go there. It's a game that we played a while ago, me, Money, and your brother, but we only play like maybe a couple of hours of it. Where you go into the tunnels and caves and you explore. You have different characters.
I know what you're talking about. I forget
you have to mine things and fight spiders and stuff like that. That's what that is. That's what this reminds me of. But man, look, for an independent developer, look at this, man.
That's cool.
Look at when she steps on the look. It's a lava world, by the way. Look at the footing.
Crazy.
She's stepping on like there's lava under that dirt. That's ash.
Yeah.
And every step she's taking, this is an independent developer giving you details in a game. It's Thunderful. I think it's Thunderful is publishing the game. So December 16th on Game Pass. And shout out to Smart Delivery where you don't have to worry about paying extra. There you go. But that's the Gunk little smaller update. It's coming out December 16th for those who've been waiting like myself. We finally get to play it on December 16th. Moving on, we got here. Yeah, these are the last little. Well, you want to finish it with the lastly but not least, or the other stuff, the under it?
We could just all together, kind of.
Just all together.
Yeah. So real quick, so we'll
start off small topics. Yeah.
Yeah. Steam Deck delayed.
Steam to next year, but see that's weird because you remember you have those who pre-order that are getting it like early on, and then those who got told you're not going to get it till later mid 2022. So what does this mean for them? Maybe later 2022, even early 2023.
Yeah. So here's the actual, and I'll pull it up here. This is from Steam directly what people got. The launch of Steam Deck will be delayed by 2 months, so it's a 2-month delay. Sorry about this. We did our best to work around the global supply chain issues, but due to material shortages, components are reaching our manufacturing facilities in time for us to meet our initial launch dates.
You know what bothers me about that statement?
What's up?
This global shortage we have going on right now, it's not something that happened overnight. It's been around for a while, and it's gonna continue being there for a while. So I would assume that as a manufacturer needing these parts, you would know this to not go ahead and say pre-order time.
Well, but we also know too is that same thing, like what's the reason to really pre-order and incentivize and stuff like that. We already know the incentivizing the actual purchase itself, and then giving a date, being like, hey, listen, because they could have been like, oh, pre-order and then TBA, or TBD, to be determined or to be announced.
Right.
You know what I mean? They could hit you with that. They gave you the date. At least this is like still like a full disclosure. Like kind of like, hey, listen, this is just what it is. But this is the go-to. This is also but this is also the go-to excuse that people, because we already know, like everything else, like making these are basically handheld PCs, and getting the pieces that they need to make all of them work and stuff like that. They've been having a difficult time trying to secure that.
If you have your ear close to the ground and following the news when it comes to parts and the shipping and what's happening at the like with Xbox and PlayStation you can't even find one in the store, and they keep telling you this it's hard to get our pieces and because of the shipping. That alone had me going. I pre-ordered it, by the way. I pre-ordered it with the $5.
Yep.
And then I canceled it because call it intuition, call it whatever you want to call it. But being that I have my ear so close to the ground when it comes to this kind of stuff, I kind of knew this was it was coming. Like if you didn't know this was coming, a brand new piece of technology, gonna hit early, like late this year. I was like, nah, unless you guys figured out how to get those parts to use, like, and nobody else did. That's weird. Like I didn't expect it to come out that soon, so I wasn't surprised about this news. A lot of people were.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have it for the holiday season. Obviously, now it'll just be early next year, which is fine. I at least they didn't say it's something like, oh, hey, we got to delay it 6 months, or there's a problem in the production, or the problem is they just can't get the materials.
Even with the word delay with no other information, it's delayed.
Like, hey, delay it. We don't know when it's coming out. Like, no, it's not like and. Give it to Valve at least, or Steam, essentially it'd be like, hey, listen, it's coming, it's coming. Here's the time, and we'll see, and then when it comes out, we'll see how it actually works, and if it really can compete with the likes of the Switch and stuff like that.
It should. I mean, with the power it has, it should be able to compete. There's a market out there for mobile gaming, so there is a market for it. That's that, and that's that for Steam. For those who pre-ordered, sorry, next year sometime.
Yep.
Hopefully no barring no more delays. Hopefully
early next year, hopefully.
And then lastly but not least, we have Embark Studios, which is a studio that it's created. It's by ex-DICE devs that make Battlefield. It looks like they got together. There's a video out there for a game they're making. It looks like they're describing it as a third person open world adventure is what they're creating, which is kind of weird for DICE developers. Am I right? Am I wrong in saying? Let me see. But it says it here somewhere. If you scroll down, it'll say, it goes cooperative. Sorry, I was all wrong. Cooperative, free-to-play action game set in a distant future about overcoming seemingly impossible odds by working together. That's vaguely what they said there. But free-to-play. Free for me. Free, I love it. If it's free, it's me. And it's co-op. So those are two big, key words for me. free to play and co-op.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. These are from the former heads of Dice Studio. They got together, made a new studio called Embark, and now they're doing this. There's a little short video on a concept art for it, and you see the concept art here as well. But check that out. This is something that's going to be left on our radar.
Unreal Engine.
And we don't know which one though. We don't know if they're using the newer one or the
it's 5.
4.
5, right, is the newest one.
Got to be 5. It's got to be 5. At this point, why would you be working with 4? And if you're a brand new studio, you wanna come out swinging.
I mean, some of the game elements look kind of cool too. Push visual fidelity on a large scale, 256 square kilometers. That's pretty decent size. Completely dynamic weather and lighting without having to be a huge team. Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a battle royale, but it's free to play. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, okay, it's free to play, but it doesn't sound like a battle royale. That's interesting.
Listen, I'll take more of the survival. So here, like you said,
free to play space is battle royale, technically.
Yeah, cooperative free to play action game. I still like a game like Miscreated, which I don't know if I ever mentioned. One of these days, I'm going to show one of those clips of Miscreated that I had playing with Heartbeat and Reborn and stuff, because that game was one of the fun. It's like survival, open world, but it's take Minecraft, but in a zombie apocalypse. And then you got to scavenge for food and stuff. But if you die, whatever you had on you, you lose. So it's like Tarkov and that whole thing. I love that game. I love that type of game. I need more of that in my life experience. And I hope that more of those type of games personally can come to the console scene. They do it. There's a lot of them at this point now on PC. I feel like every other fucking week there's a new survival-ish game that's similar to a Tarkov, that comes out, and I hope that we could get those type of experiences on console as well too, because I think those games, for me personally, I love those games. That feeling of you're going into something, and if you die, there's the risk reward thing. If you die, you lose what you had, So yeah, man. But this is pretty interesting. We'll see what happens there.
We're gonna keep an eye on it. It's obviously gonna be more information come on it as it progresses. So we'll keep an eye on that. There was a leak that came out with 2 more IPs that were not talked about yet by Xbox. One coming from Compulsion Games.
Yep.
It's described as a southern set in New Orleans kind of a game. With the hero being a person of color, which I am very, very, and I'm in on that. That's awesome. That's cool. Not much representation with these games, but it looks like it's going to be an interesting game as far as what they're creating there. Southern New Orleans kind of thing. It is Compulsion Games. If you guys are not familiar with them, they have We Happy Few. Very, very. Their art style in that game is very cool. Very, very interesting. I played it for a few hours, and I quite enjoyed it. It's one of my backlogs actually. So if you guys haven't checked it out, they are creating this game. They don't have a name for it yet. I think it's codenamed Midnight is what it's codenamed for right now. So they're working on that, but it was leaked that this game is being worked on. So that's pretty interesting. Keep an eye on that. Back for Blood, there's a roadmap for it. It looks like for those who are soloing Back for Blood and want progress on it, they're gonna, I think next year they're gonna implement, or December actually, next month, they're gonna implement offline campaign progression.
Yep.
That's a pretty neat thing. So for those who don't have the friends or don't have
what we bitched about when the game launched, basically.
What we bitched about when it first came out.
When it launched. And not far, because this game just launched in October.
It's just launched in October, and I'm surprised that they actually have it's not just minimal updates, a roadmap. Yep. With an annual pass and expansions, and I didn't expect that from.
And literally 2 months in, and they're like, "Hey, listen, December, boom, November, what was it? Quality of life improvements. That's cool. Major bug fixes. So let's nip any major problems that they had in the butt, from the game launch. Which wasn't that many.
I love when developers do that when they show this like a roadmap. Destiny does that very well. Bungie, they do that very well. They give you a nice roadmap saying, "Hey." Yep. What to expect. Here we go. So you're never going, man, when am I going to get something next? When am I going to get an update? I love that. I love that it's doing that.
So new card type as well, too, along with new cards. Types. So there goes to that replayability factor, which is cool. And then 2022,
new enemy, I believe, new cleaners, written, new
difficulty in 2022. My only thing to that is, and this was just from my brief experience of playing it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I can't get past the fucking medium difficulty,
the
let alone
recruit or whatever that is. Yeah,
veteran. Like, recruit's a little too on the easy side, and fucking veterans, like, what the fuck? So
I read that. I was like,
are
you serious right now?
Yeah.
New difficulty? Like what? Like there's people out there who want to die more? Like what the fuck?
New co-op mode seems interesting. Melee updates, quality of life improvements, new corruption cards as well too.
I'm interested in new co-op mode. I wonder what that's about. Like, yeah, that new.
And then they say here too, like you were saying, cleaners, ridden, activity type, weapons cards, exclusive skins.
First expansion called Tunnels of Terror, and they have 2 more expansions after that next year. So 3 expansions total next year. Who knows, man? If we keep supporting this title, they're gonna keep going with it. It looks good. This is not it's not Evolve, and that's a good thing. It's just not that. I'm hoping to get back on it with the fellas. I know we have different schedules, but hopefully one day we get back on it and continue our playthroughs on that. But that's the Back for Blood. It has a roadmap. I appreciate when developers do that. You have no idea. I appreciate stuff like that. The last thing is there's a rumor, not much to go on, but it was tweeted 1 versus 100 is being developed and worked on by the Microsoft Xbox Studios. So I'm hoping that's a thing. But 1 versus 100, it was one of those niche games. I wouldn't say niche. A lot of people played it, but
it was cool. I remember playing it.
No, 360? No, Xbox One.
I think it was Xbox One.
It was Xbox One.
I think.
Remember playing it where you literally are going against other people, and the host was a live DJ.
Yes.
And that part was so neat. And then you play, it was like certain times of the day.
Oh no, 360 back in 2009.
It was 360. Okay.
Yep.
It was a certain day it happened on certain hours. It was just one of those things. And they took over. It was after that show because there was an actual show called 1 versus 100 on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what that was about. I suspect it went away abruptly because, royalties, and it was a show made by, like, they had to get, they want to keep paying. So I'm interested to find out what happened here. Maybe they ended up buying the rights to it and now they're developing it. But something like this, if you think about it with the cloud, the possibilities that this
how many people could sign in and reach and stuff like that, where you don't have to be isolated to an actual console itself, that you'd be able to do it. It's similar to that game that they had everybody going crazy about. I remember a couple of years back, remember that mobile.
It's a trivia game. It was a trivia game.
Fucking trivia game that they had everybody doing that. Literally, like, you couldn't.
You win actual money.
If you depending on how you answered, it just, oh my god. So
you had to,
in a situation
like question to move on,
and imagine if they did something like this, and then they had different prizes, like, hey, get like a year of Game Pass Ultimate, or win like this, win this gift card.
Well, I think at the time what they used to do with this is if you won, you get you get like a special shout out, or I forgot what it was. You get like notary for it, like notoriety.
Yeah,
like
now they could do. I mean, they would be able to do a lot more with that. I think that would be pretty cool.
But that wraps up today's stuff. Missing is hanging in there. I appreciate you for hanging in. I had so much fun with 1 versus 100. Maybe now we'll have an actual look, we've been talking about this, right? The discussion's been happening where like they can do so much with the achievements unlocking a game like 1 versus 100.
Yeah,
where you get stuff that actually complements your avatar, or
if they implement
more logo that goes on your achievement score that shows people, wow, he or she played that. Like, this is something they like something that of visual value, hell, you play for grand prizes like 1 month of Game Pass or whatever that is,
You're coming. We're getting a little interesting feed right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just went big and then small, like the screens.
Yeah. Sorry for those listening at home right now, or any still listening. Thank you for bearing with us. We're getting a little crackling too. I heard.
Yeah, I hear the crackling now. I do hear it now. Is that me? Okay, we're good. I
don't know if it's you. I think it was just happening. Just probably.
I don't hear it no more, but it was crackling a minute ago. Yeah.
Apologies.
But luckily, that was towards the end. No more. You don't have to deal with that no more. So, thank you guys for those who stuck around. For those who are going to listen to us on demand afterwards, I appreciate you guys, listening in on us. Please participate in the giveaway. This is our way of saying, hey, thank you for supporting us. We're now at 250 plus, and we're just going to keep getting strong, keep going forward. But if you missed it, it's in the top of the show. We Logic went ahead and introduced the terms and conditions of what the giveaway is going to be about. I'll recap it real quick. This video, please comment on it with the hashtag STP Sam Tom Phillip STP giveaway, all one word, no spaces.
Hashtag,
giveaway.
just like you would on Twitter.
In front or in back.
Yes.
Start it with hashtag or #, however you want to say that.
Yep.
STP giveaway. Comment that in
All one word.
in this podcast video, 11/14. Comment that. 2 weeks from now, on the 28th of November, on our live pod, which it airs at 5:00 p.m. Eastern time, we will go ahead and pull from those comments. Is the only way you can get in, participate and enroll in it. Is we are using a picker, a comment picker that will pick all the comments that have used that hashtag. You guys will be put in a raffle, and we'll pull 2 winners for the controller giveaways of the Space Jam New Legacy movie. It's the Toon Squad and the Goon Squad. The Goon Squad being the purple and black, and the Toon Squad being the orange and blue. Other than that, I appreciate you guys for all the support you have shown us over the months. We continue on loving this community. We'll be back again next week for another episode. I have nothing else to say. Logic?
Yeah, no. Beautifully put, eloquently put. Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Look out for the video too. I'll put a short video about this whole thing. So you look out for that. I'll put it all over socials. But
and we'll talk about it in next week's pod as well too, just to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. But yeah, man.
Other than that, man, I appreciate you guys for coming in.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Oh, and hopefully we're playing Halo tomorrow.
Hopefully we are playing Halo tomorrow. Come on, you got this.
We'll see. I don't know.
We got this. If not,
maybe one of these will come too. Maybe we'll actually get this fruition thing. You know, maybe that'll come true.
Speak it into existence.
Seriously.
Yeah. But the show is tomorrow. Xbox 20th anniversary show, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss that. That's going to be fun. I can't wait to see what surprises they have in store for us. So other than that, I appreciate you guys coming in. We'll end it on that note. And as I always say every single week, happy fucking gaming, everybody.
Taylor about the fucking flex.